YouTuber's rude. YouTuber's very rude. Very, very rude. YouTube played me. YouTube hurt me. How dare it play me? Where's my clampy gone? There you are. Clap for the life. Clap, clap, clap. Da, 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 da. So obnoxious, but we love to see it. 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 My partner's food almost here. Heck yeah. I need to go a little bit down, a little bit down, a little bit down. I mean, what I'll do as well. Yeah. This is difficult to grip. We go this way. Yes. Yes. I'll be back in a sec. Food's here and I'll fix it all up once that's all sorted out. Hello. Hi, Dad. Hi. Hi, Dad. Hi. Partner's food's here. Give me a second, Joe. I'm sorry. I just saw you then at the stream. Boop. And you're in the stream. Heck yeah. Hi.
Hey.
I'm back in a sec. Just give me a second.
Okay.
So now I'm back. I'm back. Back like the NASDAQ. Do I want to turn on my light? Yeah, I do. Might as well, eh? More as well. Might as well illuminate myself a little bit.
Might as well.
It sucks that you're still not feeling sleepy. Or you're feeling sleepy but not tired sleepy.
I'm tired but not sleepy.
It is some bullshit. There we go. That looks like a floodlight. Now, oh. I'm lopsided.
Just a little.
And fucking cunt. My thumb popped out while I was trying to tighten that.
That's not cool.
That's not very Look how pale I am. Oh no. There we go. That's a little bit better. No, I don't want that. I want it to tilt a little bit. Just the smallest amount. Just a slight tilt. Let me tilt, you bastard. There we go. That's the tilt I needed. I was just tilting the camera, so this is better. A bit better.
That's much better.
But yes, you should have the list of the questions, Joe.
I saw. Thank you very much.
As well as I've also included all of the questions in the description box below of this, as well as like Rhonda's channel link and Debbie's channel link. I've also put the links of everyone I'm tagging down below too. So please, if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to check out everyone that I've decided to tag for the video. And let me know what you think of their channels, and when they do their video, what you think of them. Yeah, so I've tagged One Busy Mama, or Bethany. I've tagged Flawed and Fabulous, Stacey. We've got Beauty by Crystalline. We've got Joylyn Grindle, or Joy, she prefers to be known as. And one that you might not know, Joe. I've also tagged one of my good friends from Twitter. Her name is Lalana D, or her channel is Lalana D. She does a lot of fun little contents where, at the moment, she's doing a series of Halloween videos where she is doing like inspired looks and then doing different TikTok videos that go alongside it and all that fun stuff. I also realised I'm really far away from the camera. So it probably looks a bit ridiculous. Let's try and fix that a little bit. Bit better. Good enough. But yes. So the wonderful Joe next to me, this beauty, she's also going to be doing the questions because she's been tagged in actually both sets of questions. So, I mean, I don't know if you're going to do a whole separate video or if you wanted to participate and have fun in the live stream with me and answer some questions along the way. You don't have to.
Sure, I'll try to do that.
But I'm going to have fun. So the first question, we'll start with the palette lovers tag. And I'll also be eating my burrito. I got a burrito for dinner. But the first question is a palette that I regret not buying. And I actually, surprisingly enough, had a quite difficult time with this one because there is not many things that, like, to the point of, like, actually saying it's a regret that I didn't buy it, because obviously there's other things, but the palette I personally regret not buying, and I don't know if it will be restocked again, is the Ace Beauté Oceanic palette, which has some beautiful greens, some gorgeous blues. It was a quite really hyped up palette, and by the time I went to go actually buy it, it was sold out, and it doesn't seem like it's coming back anytime soon. So I'm big sad. I'm big sad. Do you have any?
Do what?
I was just saying, do you have any? Or what do you
Yeah, I regret not buying Well Song, and I can still get it, and I probably will after the Christmas season. But I really, really wanted Well Song.
What brand's that made by, sorry?
I'm having to look it up because I can't remember. I didn't know I was going to do the questions too.
You don't have to. I was just asking.
Menage.
I knew that. I just was trying to remember the name too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful palette.
That might have been a bit too much. For fuck's sake. I have to recalibrate. Bear with me one moment. The tripod betrayed. And I'm trying to get it so I'm in frame, but also don't give crotch shots. You know how it be. If you're a content creator, you're used to your crotch being on camera. I don't think that's a necessarily positive thing for YouTube, at least. But we don't care. Question number 2 is a palette you regret buying. Mine, I regret buying not necessarily because it's a bad palette. I regret buying it because it was a bad first palette. And if you then watch any of my content, you already know which palette this is. Mine is the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette. This is the box that it comes in. It's an absolutely stunning box. And if you watched my makeup destruction video, I actually destroyed this palette because it was expired. But It was beautiful. The main reason why I regret buying this palette was it was, like I said, my first palette I ever bought, and the whole thing is filled with shimmers. So because the whole thing is filled with shimmers, and it was literally my first palette, I had nothing to build off of in terms of mattes and as a base. I had only shimmers, and it really did hinder my learning how to properly do makeup, and it hindered my actual wants to do it, because whenever I would use it, I'd always be upset because it was never how I wanted it to look, because obviously I didn't have the mattes to go alongside with the shimmers. So, like I said, this would be the palette that I regret buying, purely because when I did purchase it, it was the only palette I had, and it made it nowhere near as enjoyable to use. And I genuinely stopped reaching for it even when I had mattes, just because like I had that bad of a time using it on its own. I just didn't care to reach for it when I was actually using like mattes and such.
Mine was the one I regret, and I'm kind of like you. It's kind of a harsh word, but it'd probably be the Buxom Extrovert. It's this palette right here.
Oh, beautiful.
I have all the colors that's in this palette in multiple other palettes. The only reason why I didn't take it back is I used Ulta Bucks to buy it, so it was kind of like, eh. So really, that I just had those. I have a problem with buying the same colors over and over.
I mean, the amount of purples I have is a bit ridiculous. But question 3: a palette that you haven't used as much as you thought you would. This one for me even surprised me, really thinking about it. And I honestly, knowing what this palette looks like internally, I can't show you what it looks like internally, and it will make sense in a second when I say that. Packaging, beautiful. The shades themselves, beautiful. Overall, it's aesthetic, stunning. I just found that the tones in the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette clashes with my undertones too much, to the point where I can look like I have pink eye with the majority of these shades. On top of that, there were some red mattes inside of it that I just didn't really care for the formula. They were very dry, they were hard to work with, and I just had better performance using the brighter reds that did work fine in this palette, and then using like a black shadow to deepen it. And like I said, the reason why I can't show you the shades is because that's what mine looks like on the inside, because I'm destructive, and I depotted all of my Jeffree Star palettes to make them easier for travel purposes. So my palette, like I said, that I haven't used as much as I thought I would have to be Blood Sugar from Jeffree Star.
Hey, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you are. Hi.
Mine would actually be Conspiracy by Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, because it's not my colored story. It's got a lot of colors that I like, and it's got a lot that I can pair with other palettes if I'm at home going out. But it's really bulky. It's not travel friendly, and then I have to pair it with other palettes. So I just don't end up using it as much as I thought I would.
Funnily enough, that was my second answer after Blood Sugar, but I actually used Conspiracy more than Blood Sugar, surprisingly. But I definitely do agree with you with a lot of your points you just made. The fact that like the packaging is so bulky. At least this one's like relatively thin, because compared to the facets of Blue Blood and Conspiracy. But I would agree with you there that like even when it comes to the travel side of things, it made the palettes a lot harder to reach for, because at least like I was saying with this one, if I wanted deeper reds, I needed to grab a black, and this doesn't have black. So I'd have to grab a black from a different palette, and then, you know, you're having to travel with 2 or 3, and it's just ridiculous. And no one needs to be traveling with that many things if you can have a palette that has it all, or you can get something like the Shadow Bible like I have and depot your pans and have it that way travelable.
Yeah.
Question number 4. I'm kind of cheating with my answer. Makes sense in a second. But number 4 was a palette that I've used more than I thought I would. And my answer for this will make sense when I actually explain it. And I took a little bit of liberty because this isn't technically an eyeshadow palette. And me saying that, you should already know what the palette is, Joe. My palette is this bad boy. Moon Prism Blush. Now, the reason why I say it is that you see my pale face. And then when you see all of these blushes, you think, oh yeah, there's no way. You maybe get 1 or 2. This whole palette of blushes I can somehow use on my face, and it looks like they should actually be usable on my face. And I've equally seen them being used on like darker complexions. So for the sheer fact that like this literally all 6 blushes inside of this palette I can actually use. Like the darker blushes I don't use as blushes. They're more like contour bronzers with a little bit of color that I pair with certain blushes that are in here. So it's like my blush and bronzer is all one. But mine, like I said, I've been using it a lot more than I thought I would, because like I said, I could use it for blush as well as bronzer. Yeah, so that is my answer for number 4.
Shockingly for me, I grab for the Midnight Masquerade all the time. It is just an easy, if I got to go somewhere or Jason says, hey, we got to do this, it is a very easy palette just to jump into and just go.
I mean, you can also do, just looking at that, you could also do like a neutral look, colourful.
Mm-hmm. And it's got a color that I can use for blush and contour.
Oh, number 6. Is it number 6? No, it's number 5. This one, again, I can't show you the colours to actually have it make sense, but if you've had this palette or seen it, you understand. But the next question is my favourite half neutral, half colourful palette. And for me, I actually had a hard time answering this because I don't, as Joe knows, and if you know me, I don't do neutral. I'm colour. But what I have always gravitated towards for both colours and neutrals, because I've loved how many varied colours there are in it, is good old Jeffree Star Cosmetics Jawbreaker palette. Now, this thing had stunning shimmers, stunning mattes in the colourful range, in the neutral range. So, like, obviously you can't see the inside. Hi, Rhonda. I'm actually...
Hello, Rhonda.
Joe and I are both currently answering the Palette Lovers tag questions, and then I'll be going on to we'll also be doing the YouTube questions as well. So I'm currently on question number 5, which is fave, half neutral, half colourful. And mine is the Jawbreaker palette. Because like I was saying, there's insanely beautiful colours in here in terms of like neons and pastels, but then there was a large amount of neutrals that you could really tone down the look with, or just do a basic neutral eye with. So like I said, mine is the Jawbreaker palette for question 5. Favourite half neutral, half colourful.
And my favorite half neutral, half color is going to be Moon Spell by Manny. There's the packaging.
It's so pretty.
I'm a big lover of both purples, greens, and blue. And then you have your neutrals right in here. You even have neutral shimmer and colorful shimmer. So this is mine. I love this palette. I could use this palette every day probably.
Mm-hmm.
My main problem is why I don't is I have so many palettes that I try to rotate and it takes a year to get back to one.
No, and you don't want to leave out any. So, question number 6. Beautifully led after your response, Joe. What is the palette you bought for the packaging? And the reason why I say that is mine, funnily enough, even though I do love the inside, was the Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dream palette. I mean, I don't even have to say anything for, like, literally enough said. Just look at it. I mean, and I'm not going to lie. I bought this as well equally for the shades on the inside of it. It's absolutely stunning shades. But in terms of packaging, this would have to be like the top of packaging for me. This even tops Jeffree Star packaging. Like Jeffree Star packaging, yeah, it's opulent, but this is a whole aesthetic. Like I hope this is enough of an aesthetic that I hope the brand sticks with this, because at least with Jeffree's it was a bit ambiguous enough that he could just hop around. But this is like, I could see this as Luna Beauty's aesthetic for years to come.
And I would say this is the first palette I bought for packaging, because this was my first of this brand, and I didn't know that I would love the formula as much as I do. And that's the Lime Crime Venus XL. And I do love the color story. It was one of those things that I was given beautiful packaging and beautiful colors.
Mm-hmm. See, funnily enough, my next response to after Strawberry Dream, funnily enough, would have been my Lime Crime Venus Immortalis. There's something about that it literally looks like a little bit of like ancient Greek art. It's just stunning. It's like, equally like how I'm like this aesthetic. I'm like, I could see Luna Beauty with this. I'm sad that Lime Crime's gone away from that Venus aesthetic.
Me too.
That was insane. Like that was beautiful. So
you didn't have to see none of the brand name. You would know it by the picture every time.
Exactly. And that's how I feel about this as well. Like if Manny stuck with this, you would be like, that's Luna Beauty. But so the next question is number 7, a palette where I liked the shimmers more than the mattes. For mine, this was literally the first palette that came to mind, and there's one shimmer in particular that is the reason for it. And mine has to be Mini Breaker from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, purely for the shade Oral. Just Oral. It is, I know it sounds a bit like what the moment. It is a purple to blue duochrome, and it was the first duochrome I'd ever owned. And on top of it being like a really awesome formula. But every single shade that was in this palette, that was a shimmer. I'm talking from Oral. There was also Orange Crush, I believe it's called, which technically isn't a shimmer and it's not even a matte. It's a matte that has glitter throughout of it. And that was magical. That was one of the first eyeshadows that I'd seen that was like that in such a unique shade, because there's been multiple shadows that have a similar finish, but never that something where it was like a neon orange with neon orange glitter in it. Like, so that's the palette that I like. And I actually didn't like the a couple of the mattes that are in this, the Hot Fudge matte and one of the pinks I did not like in this, but I loved the shimmers in this.
I think on mine, I know it's going to be in the top 3, if not in the very top, would be the Violet Voss Flamingo palette. The shimmer,
wow.
The shimmer is amazing, but this is the matte. Now, the newer palettes from Violet Voss, the mattes have gotten a million times better. But as far as the palette is concerned, I mean, I love the shades in it. The shades are gorgeous. Whoops, wrong way. But the
shimmers, they don't even look like shadows. That looks like actual just straight up bits of metal in the pan.
Yeah, and it's buttery. It is just like butter.
Now, question number 8. A palette where I liked the mattes more than the shimmers. This was like, out of all of the questions, this was literally the palette that I came up with the answer first to, because I've raved about this palette's mattes before. And that would be the Coven Cosmetics. Sorry, I just had food kind of regurgitate a bit. The Coven Cosmetics, the Coven palette. The mattes that are in this, like, obviously there's some shimmers and I have messed up a pan a little bit, but the mattes in this palette are the most pigmented mattes I've like literally probably ever grabbed for. And their performance, the amount that they spread, like I'll try and show you. I'll literally, so usually, you know, the greens are quite hard to formulate, especially like really dark greens. And this dark green here is a matte. I'll literally just go, look. I barely touch the pan and look, like that's opaque. You can't see the skin through it. And even this blue, the blue, I just go, look. And even these, like, even the reds are notoriously difficult, but look how vibrant that red is from an indie brand. Like, that's crazy. And even this blacks can be difficult to have, like, a really deep black. But, like, I do have hard pan on it, so it doesn't swatch as nice as the other ones do. But where you actually have the pigment the most, it is stunning. Plus, it isn't pinky, so you don't get the best swatch with a pinky. But, yeah. They're just some of the mattes from the Coven Cosmetics, the Coven palette. It is also the perfect palette, in my opinion, for Halloween because you get your kind of grungy side as well as your witchy purples and pinks. Plus, look at the glitters on the center. So, yes, this is the palette that I love. Like, the shimmers were nice in this, don't get me wrong, but, like, the mattes. This is the palette for mattes. So that's my palette whether I liked the mattes more than the shimmers.
Mine, which is a little odd because I'm not a fan of this brand, excuse me, formula period.
Oh.
And that's Urban Decay's Naked Honey. This
Really?
is an actually good palette. This is a great palette. But the mattes just way outshine the shimmers in this one. The shimmers work, but it's almost like they're so close in color to the mattes that when you put them on your eye, they just don't show. I don't know how to explain it. But the mattes, I don't know if you can see, I had to use the inside of my hand.
Oh, wow.
The matte just like butter, and I mean, just one swipe, and that's it. I really like the mattes in this, and I go for the mattes in it quite a bit, and some of the shimmers have never even been used.
Yeah, I can get that. It's very strange, but it happens. Number 9, a palette that happily surprised me. This one is a bit of an oddball because it's not, you know, a typical palette. And the reason why this one surprised me so much was, you know, when you're buying a dupe palette, especially one that's from Wish or AliExpress, you're not expecting it to be that amazing. But when I actually received this, the palette that I'm talking about is the Hojo Aristocratic palette. So I bought this off of Wish. You can also get it from like AliExpress. It's supposed to be a Pat McGrath dupe palette. And I mean, first of all, like, ignore that it's slightly weird lining up because, you know, it's flat. But firstly, appreciate that absolutely stunning packaging. Even for, like, a cheap palette, embossing like this where it has the gold can be quite expensive. So when you're talking, like, about a thing that's coming from Wish or something like that, that's a lot of attention to detail. This is also really heavy, like, surprisingly heavy for a palette that is as small as it is and from being from Wish. And then the icing on the cake is the actual formula of all of these shades. I've even used them on the lids. It's stunning. Like, for a palette from Wish that is supposed to be a dupe, it's beautiful. This green is like, I've never had a duochrome that is so cheap. Like, look at that for a duochrome. That is stunning. Like, for a dupe palette that you rarely see duochromes in, that is stunning for a duochrome. We've got this more like softish white to gold duochrome. And what's even more impressive is there's different formulas outside of just shimmer and matte in this. There's like a glitter formula, a normal matte, like normal mattes. And then there's also, like how I was saying in the mini breaker, there's this matte up here, but it has the slightest bit of glitter in it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it too well, but there's like mattes with glitter. You've got normal mattes, you've got shimmers, you've got duochromes. There's even a full-on glitter. And I've used every single shade in this palette, and they all perform well. And for a palette that is so cheap, and I wasn't expecting it to perform so well because, you know, it's from Wish, this surprised me. Genuinely surprised me. In a happily surprised me way.
Mine's kind of a surprise because it was, for me, the first time venturing out into anything indie. And I don't even know if you would say it's, I mean, it's indie, but not only did I take somebody's word on if it was going to be good, it was coming from another country that they already said it could be up to 2 months to get. And they weren't cheap. I mean, they were middle cost. So I'm already spending a good bit of money, and that I can't pick between the two. And that's the Kaleidos palettes. I was so thrilled to have these palettes.
They look, I've wanted the whole Kaleidos collection, like literally all of them, all of the Futurism palettes. I love the packaging, I love the colors, I love the whole aesthetic. It's stunning.
This would probably win over the other one by like 1 point. They're both so amazing. I mean, you just, to go out on a limb like that just by somebody's suggestion and to be so pleasantly surprised, it was amazing.
Yeah, if I owned them, they probably would be my answer too. They are so beautiful. I like the new, the two new ones that they've come out with. There's a purple heavy one, and I'm like, I need that in my life.
Yes, 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 yes.
Now, the last palette, the last question for the palette part. It's relatively new. Relatively, it is new for me. But it also, in my opinion, has one of the most interesting colour stories out of my whole collection. And that, for me, is the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity palette. That's the box of it. Like, that's just the box. But the actual shades inside of this palette, the diversity of, like, what you can do with this is ridiculous. You've got, like, greens, you've got golds, or greens. It's like a green gold. You've got greens, you've got golds, you've got browns, you've got reds, you've got some cray purples, duochromes out the wazoo. And to me, there's just something about this, like this whole colour story, that really, really intrigues me. And the actual shades themselves, like the camera just cannot do it justice. But there's just something about this colour story that genuinely, like, I want this on my face all the time. And very few palettes, like, where a lot of the time when I look at a palette, there'll be like a couple of shades that I'm like, oh, I want them all the time. There isn't a shade that I don't want to do that with in this palette. Like, looking at them, even in person, they're all like little jewels. They're like a little jewelry box, and you just get to choose which jewel you want on your face that day. So for me, that would have to be the palette with the most interesting colour story because of how, like, diverse the shades are. Even within the purples, there's like different types of purples. You've got this purple here, you've got smoked amethyst, and almost, I don't even know if you'd call it a purple, but that shade where it's like a mix of like a pinkish magenta. It's like, it's just so fun. And I think it's really interesting, the actual shade range that's in it. There's not any other palette that I can think of. Obviously, it's kind of silly to say that because literally over half of this palette is two existing palettes from Pat McGrath. But I can't think of a palette that has like this colour story. Or at least if there is one that is similar or something that is as intriguing to me as that, none of them get me like that.
Right. Mine, it's interesting to me because it's all the colors I love, but kind of put together in a way that I would never thought of. So that's why I think it's interesting. And it's the Sugar Peel Capsule 1 palette.
Oh, okay.
And it's got greens, purples, pinks, blues, but like this is a green gold and this is lilac. Whereas some people say, well, you put these two together, but I like to put 3 to 5 shadows on me at once. And I didn't realize how much I would love putting this on my face with these colors all at one time.
Hey, I also like the whole aesthetic of the packaging too, where it's almost like they're
The
floating.
packaging is spot on.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I would love to make a palette through Sugar Peel, but it's so expensive.
Well, Joe, we've answered part 1.
Oh, yay!
Because part 1 was the first 10 questions, which was the palette makeup, or the palette lovers tag.
We did it, Rhonda.
And that one's yours, Rhonda. So that was yours, all for you. And then part 2 of all this is the YouTuber tag. And the YouTuber tag, I was tagged in by Debbie. Debbie also tagged Joe as well, I'm pretty sure.
That's what I was told.
Yes. And like mentioned earlier, I've tagged everyone, at least who I'm tagging in mine. I've tagged 5 people, sorry. I've tagged 5. All their information is in the description box below. I'll also probably DM them and be like, hey, I've tagged you in a tag. Watch my live stream that I just did. You're tagged. And so the palette lovers tag, that was done by the beautiful Rhonda. This one.
Yay, Rhonda.
Yeah, Rhonda, you sure can. Did you want to come up?
Do you want me to send it to her?
Yes, please, if you could forward the link to her. That'd be fun, Rhonda. Heck yeah, Rhonda. The more the merrier. And you get to then answer it. Yeah, yay. Because it's a fun little list of questions. They're not just the typical, like... There are some typical questions, but there are some that I actually had to really think about for more than just, like, superficial responses. They really do have to make you think, some of them. I've just now got a pile of boxes next to me because I've got all of those palettes that were like emptied out and such. So I've just got a pile of palettes all around me now. I love it. You're just sending her the link now.
I did send it to her.
Oh, we have a Rhonda. Rhonda. Yay, Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda.
Hello, I'm dancing with myself.
How are you?
I'm good. It's early, but it's late, and I love it all the same.
Oh, we love it. Did you see all of our responses, or did you just like...
I came in about the 4th question.
Nice. That one I took liberty with. It's not technically an eyeshadow palette. It's a face palette. I chose the Moon Prism Blush one. That's the palette that you used more than you thought you would. And like I was just saying, the actual shades in it, all 6 of them somehow work on my skin tone. Like obviously I can't use the dark brown ones as blush, but they work really well as like a buffer between my blush and the contour, because it's like a contour type tone, but with a blush type thing.
Yeah, I bought that because Candy bought it. And I really am glad I bought it. This is like, I know if I don't get it, I'll be like mad at myself. I'll be all like jealous. So it's really nice. And it's a palette, so it still counts.
Yeah. I'm so excited for the face palette that I told you about.
Let me do this.
The trademarks. Yes, you can join us. We are all glowing goddesses. Heck yeah. No, I hope that the palettes that Luna Beauty's coming out with, that's a face palette, is like tones that we'll be able to use really nicely, because that will pair beautifully with the blush palette.
Yeah. I can't wait. I love how sneaky you are looking up your little trademarks. You're the smartest little purple-headed boy I know.
I just like to. I find it interesting just seeing what people are doing, and just speculation is fun. Obviously, not all of the trademarks come to fruition. There's still some trademarks that Jeffrey owns that he's never used. So,
right. Was Blood Money one of the trademarks?
Yes, it was. That was trademarked around the same time as Conspiracy. No, not Conspiracy, sorry.
Bloodlust, wasn't it?
Bloodlust.
No, it was around Conspiracy, because it was Conspiracy and Blood Money, because we thought the green one was coming next, and then we saw Bloodlust was also trademarked, and that was trademarked after.
Yeah, that was such a shock. Everybody was so sure it was going to be Blood Money.
But actually, I don't know, there is one newish one that Jeffrey owns, and it's Blood Pressure.
Blood Pressure? What would that be like? I can't even imagine.
I'm thinking blues and purples that he hasn't made yet.
Ugh, I don't like blues. I'm not a blues girl.
No, so we have the YouTuber tag questions now. 1 of 10. Fun. So first one is, how long have you been a YouTuber? I've been making YouTube videos since like September, October of last year. Yeah, October was my first proper video I uploaded, and that was just a screen grab from a live stream that I did on Instagram, and I just uploaded it on here. But my first official video that I made was in November 12th, which was the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Shane Dawson Conspiracy palette.
Wow.
So just over a year now.
Congratulations, James.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
I started June 29th of this year, and
wow. I think I remember when you start. I mean, I don't know that I was like right there when you started, but I remember because, you know, you were around and you were starting stuff. That's cool. I started August 1st of 2019, so I'm around 15 months, 15 and a half.
Wow. It's crazy how the time goes. Like, it doesn't feel like that long, for me at least.
Oh, yeah. It's been just a jam-packed, you know, carpet ride.
Well, I like made videos, but I wasn't actively posting. I just started really actively posting this year. And funnily enough, this one was the one that actually spurred me into doing that, because I finally got a camera and I just had to unbox the whole thing of like makeup that she sent me. So
that's so awesome. You guys inspire each other all the time. You're so adorable.
Mm-hmm. We try.
You don't have to try because you just are.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Round of second question. What made you become a YouTuber? Well, I don't think there was really anything in particular for me, at least. It was just like, I was already making content for Instagram and Twitter. It's just the actual content that I was making, I had to keep on shortening below 15 minutes to make it fit on Instagram. And I just got sick of that, so I decided, stuff it, I'm just going to make a YouTube as well, so I can upload the slightly longer videos to YouTube, and then I can cut them down and make a more Instagram-friendly version. And then I stopped doing that, and now I only just upload YouTube videos.
That's so cool.
I started doing it. I thought about doing it. James kind of pushed me to go ahead and to at least try. And I did it because I was so bored being at home and not having anything to do, not being able to be sporty like I used to be, or be able to work like I used to. And I tried a million hobbies and nothing clicked. And so I started doing YouTube and makeup, and it just seemed like I started making friends so quick, and everything just started happening, and it was so far a great time.
That's awesome. I started YouTube because I was Well, I've been into makeup for a long time, and I grew up in a house full of makeup. And my mom was really big in Mary Kay, and pink Cadillacs, the works. And so I learned how to do makeup at a young age, but I rebelled against it when I was punk rock. Anyway, so I've been disabled for a long time, and like you said, I've done a bunch of different hobbies. And then I was watching YouTube constantly, watching unboxing and tutorials, and I was like, I can do this. And I wanted to do this for months before, like in April and May of 2019. I wanted to do it, but I was too scared, and I didn't have anybody that I knew that was doing it. And I just one day was just like, I'm gonna do it, and I did it. I made a little test video. I was like, I can stand to see myself on video. It's okay. And then the next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. Yeah, here I am, almost 600 videos later.
That's amazing.
I can't believe I made so many videos.
I know I haven't made many videos, but the amount of live streams that I've done, oh my god.
Oh my god. Like all you have to do is get your subscribers there, and you'll be able to be monetized in like 2 seconds.
I'm already 1/8 of the way hours wise. I'm already at 600 view hours.
Wow, that's great.
And what's even crazier, that's from just June of this year until now. I've gotten all of that.
That's really good.
It's redonkulous. Now, this one is difficult for me to answer because there's a couple of answers for different things. What is your favorite video you've made? For mine, there's 2 answers I have. The first one is the Jeffree Star Bloodlust collection video, just for that intro that I made. That is the piece of work that I'm so far the most proud of when it comes to editing and visuals. I literally had people saying that the Jeffree Star Bloodlust launch video that he made didn't sell them on the collection, but my video did sell them on the collection.
Wow.
So to hear that is and I will say I do personally feel like I made his collection look a lot nicer than his people did, because I don't know why, I just like the look of my stuff than compared to his. I don't know if that's my bias or just the way that I've done it. I prefer the way that my video has portrayed it compared to what he did, but that's just preference. But when it comes to the actual memories associated with it, mine is actually my Gerard Cosmetics haul video, because this beautiful one here decided to give me the gift card with it. So if you don't wonder, Jen Gerard was hosting a giveaway for Lipstick Day, and she was hosting it so it was 2 people would win a $100 gift card to their store, and those 2 people would also get to choose a friend each to also get a gift card. And she decided to gift me one. And it was I'd never tried Gerard Cosmetics at all. So that video was literally just a dedicated to Joe type video.
Oh, that's the sweetest.
She's making me blush.
Well, you should. And Gerard Cosmetics liquid lips are fire.
I love
them.
Share is my perfect lip color. It matches my lips perfectly. I love it.
I love Mile High. That's like a really great nude.
No, what's yours, Joe? What's your favorite video?
Right now, there's 3.
Wow.
Probably they're my furry friend Fridays, because I love doing my makeup and I love talking about my babies. And I'll be glad to keep doing it. I've started with the ones that are still with us, but I do think I'm going to continue on with all the babies that have been in my life. Because me and Jason counted, and I got 57, but he got 62. So somewhere in there is the amount of babies that we have saved and rehomed or rescued. And
wow.
Well, there's literally, if you're doing one a week, that's shit.
It's a lot.
That's over a year of just content there.
Yeah.
Nice.
The crazy part is, Jason, it blows Jason's mind, but I remember all their names.
I mean, they're your babies. How could you not?
Yeah. That's it.
Aw. Well, my favorite, and it's an old video, but it was the first time I met another YouTuber, and her name is Julie's Unboxings, and she used to post all the time, but she's got a new job. She's had a job for a year now, where it's taken more of her time, so she's like had a lot of training and stuff. And anyway, so she was training in in a city that was about an hour and a half away from me in Covington, Kentucky. And she was like, I'm training in Covington. I'm like, I'm coming. Like, we had never even like hung out on a live stream or talked on the phone or anything. We just knew each other from just chit chatting on YouTube. And I went and we did a tag where we asked each other different questions. And it was the most fun. We laughed so hard. And and I just really can't wait till I can do another video like that where I get to
fun. Just like almost meeting like not a stranger, but like almost a stranger in a sense, and just doing something like that. And I could imagine it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we went to dinner, at this rotating restaurant, and
Cool.
it was just a blast. And I wish she would be in Covington again, because I would totally go see her in like 2 seconds.
Now,
That was one of my best.
the next answer is going to be hard as well, but for different reasons. What's your least favorite video? I've been trying to think of that, and the only one I can really think of was more so, it wasn't the actual video itself, but it was the way that the actual things made me feel. Was my Jeffree Star Cosmetics Orgy collection video. The amount of disappointment that I felt while like playing with those palettes is like why it's my least favorite video, because it was so negative of an experience with those palettes, even though I won them, so it was an inherently positive thing, but the actual experience using the products was so negative. It's probably my least favorite for that reason alone.
Yeah, I returned those palettes.
I don't blame you, honestly. If I bought them, I would have.
It was just not up to par.
Yeah.
What would you say is yours, Joe?
It's hard, but if I was going to choose, I'm such a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, and Makeup Revolution is so hit or miss. And my Jack palette turned out great, which I know 8 people that turned out terrible. And so I was so excited with the Sally palette, and then the Sally palette it wasn't as good as I thought it should be. And it made me so sad, because now I want to return it, but I still love the packaging because I love the Nightmare Before Christmas. So I don't know what to do. I mean, it's not ultimately real expensive, but in my mind, I'm like, should I really keep something I'm not going to use?
Well, Joe, think of it this way. Those palettes were like $18, $20 around there. You take that, you return them, you get that $40 back. You can buy something super cool that's Nightmare Before Christmas that you won't have. I mean, because $40, you can, and this time of year, there's nothing but Jack Skellington and Sally everywhere. You can buy something much cooler with the $40. You can go to Torrid and get a super cute Nightmare Before Christmas like hoodie or something.
Right. You're right.
Oh, what would you say is yours, Rhonda?
I guess mine would have to be the most recent one was the Jack Skellington, because it was so, because I've got kind of a gift where I can usually pull something out of even the worst palette, but it was so difficult to get those greens, and you guys saw the video. I was working so hard to try to make it work that it just was awful. And I've got a video that I haven't put out yet because it's about the Beauty Bakery palette that came in BoxyCharm. I don't love it.
Oh, really?
Oh, the cool tone one you don't like?
Yeah. Well, I don't love it, and I halfway don't want to put it up because I don't want people to think I'm negative. like all the colors in that palette, they all look the same on the. Most of them look the same on the eye.
They are very similar. I will agree.
I
I like
didn't.
my palette. I bought the palette on my own a while back,
Right.
but you have to use it. I mean, it has to be done a certain way or with another palette.
Because I did a look with it, and I had to look on Tuesday. That was my makeup look. It looked pretty when I was putting it on. It looked muddy, and I really expected with the because I've had other cool tune palettes where the colors popped, and it's just like
Yeah,
the colors just didn't pop. And I
yeah,
love Beauty Bakery. I love their quality. I use the flour powder. I like the the banana pudding or whatever, what
I
proof
don't
is in the pudding palette, but it just disappointed me.
yeah. I found with that palette that it's kind of a split. Some people love it, some people hate it. There's not many people in the middle with it.
Yeah, and when I boiled it down throughout the video at the end, I was like, it just didn't meet my expectations, and it just isn't my flavor.
Yeah.
Which is
I
a
mean,
shame
I
because
don't think you should not upload it because I feel like you're 99% always positive. So if you have one that's not positive, it just shows that you're a real person that doesn't like something.
Yeah, I
it's
just
just a
don't want
shame.
to. And,
So,
and the thing is like I've made videos before, like where I literally have taken a palette and just thrown it in the garbage. So I don't know why I'm all hesitant right now.
I can understand it because it's not like I can understand it more as like someone who's extremely pale as well, and we both, I'm sure you can agree, like cool toned neutrals suit us much more than warm tone neutrals. Like cool tone neutral is our
Right,
shit. Like that's
right.
the only time I'll rock a neutral is cool tone neutrals. And there is genuinely nothing worse and disheartening than when you have like a cool tone neutral that is just meh. And like Joan knows that, like for me, that cool tone neutral that was a real disappointment was the Smoke Show palette from Colourpop for me, because they're
Yeah.
supposed to be cool tone browns, but they turn blue on my skin tone, and not a nice blue.
Wow.
Yeah, it's strange. They are like an almost grey blue, and I was able to photograph them in a nice way with my camera, but the way they actually looked and performed in person, it was so disappointing, and they were muddy, but blue muddy. Like how blue is muddy is weird.
Right. I'm trying to think of like because it's been so long since I used the Smoke Show palette that I don't think mine turned blue. I don't think I had much problems with it because I think it would stick out to me because I haven't had much problems with any ColourPop palette ever.
Yeah, I don't know, like, and I wasn't, and I've used even cheaper products, so it's not like, oh, I'm being like, oh, it's cheap, so I don't like it. Like, it genuinely turned blue. Like,
Right.
and I'm not talking, like, some of them were like almost pastel blue on my skin, and it's like, how in the fuck that happened? It did.
Yeah, that's crazy because
Yeah.
like when it comes to foundations, I'm always in like the number one. I always go with like the palest neutral
Yeah.
because
And I did that look, and I used the ABH eye primer. So it wasn't even like I was using a primer that might change the color of it. It was literally
right.
like the whitest primer I had, other than pure white. So
That's crazy.
yeah, that was an extreme disappointment for me because, well, Joan knows like I'm cool toned hoe, and she sent me that palette because she knows I like it, and she was like, oh yeah, you can try that, and it genuinely disappointed me. Like and it's fun, and if Joe didn't send me the version that doesn't exist anymore due to the trademark issues, I would happily and instantly send it to Shelley because Shelley really wants it, and
Right.
I'm sure she would love it. But I've got Smoke Show, not Blow and Smoke, and Smoke Show
Right.
doesn't exist anymore. So it's like I wanted to keep it as a collector's type thing. So it's
Right.
like, how many products can you say have had a name change to that extent because of a copyright infringement? That is
Right.
So that's why I kept it. Otherwise, I would be giving it to Shelley in a heartbeat. I mean, I've been contemplating trying to build like she's not here, so I can say this confidently, more happily. I've been thinking of actually getting a lot of the shades that I have from my Jeffree Star collection, the ones that I don't personally reach for, but I know that Shelley will care for, and like putting them into a little magnetic palette and sending it to you to Joe, so then Joe can pass it on to Shelley, because at least then someone will get use out of it. And it's a struggle. There's a lot of shades that are like, there's very few shades that I'm like, I care enough about that I wouldn't want to get rid of from the Jeffree Star line, because most of them are so interchangeable that it doesn't matter. But like the unique shades that are in like Bloodlust or in Mini Breaker, like Oral, stuff like that, I'd want to keep. And it's hard because I know a lot of the shades that Shelley wants, I also want to keep. So it's fuck.
Right. Oh, that's really thoughtful.
Yes. And well, I was just thinking it'd be better than them just sitting there. Plus, it also opens up more space in the things that if at any point I ever do purchase more Jeffree stuff for whatever reason, I can actually expand on that. But back to answering. Question 5. What does your family say about you being a YouTuber? Mine, my mum and my family know I make like content in general. They don't necessarily know it's like I make YouTube videos, I make this, I make that. They just know I just post stuff, and they're all really supportive of it. All of them follow me on my social media, on at least Instagram. They all like my posts, they all comment and stuff, and it's really nice having the family support you. I also had my mum at one point actually ask me to help her with one of her university projects and create a makeup look for her presentation, because my mum was doing a presentation for a business class that was talking about like the ethics and stuff of a brand, and she was happening to be discussing the alcohol brand Absolute Vodka, which is also one of my favorite brands to just drink in general, plus them having a lot of good morals and ethics behind them. So I did a makeup look for that. So like, if that doesn't say your family supports me, I don't know what else does.
Right, that's awesome.
Yeah, my mom and dad know. Jason's whole family knows. I mean, my brothers and sisters might have come across it. The ones who know love it. They are glad that something like this is helping me versus sitting in a chair being depressed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, he totally loves that I do it. And he even started his own little channel. He doesn't post to it very often, but even he was like, started a channel. I don't have a lot of family. I'm estranged from my brother, so he does it. Oh, it's fine. I'm kind of glad, just one of those situations. But like, I have friends that support me and sometimes come in my live streams and watch my videos, and I've got nothing but positive stuff from it. And I was a shopper anyway, and I was buying makeup anyway. But it totally escalated my makeup purchasing and use. But Rome doesn't begrudge it. He doesn't give me any shit about it. As long as I can handle what I'm doing, he's happy about it. And, he's helped me buy things before when, different launches were happening and I didn't have enough money. And so he totally supports me, and he loves that I do live streaming, and he loves that I've got a sense of community. So
I didn't even mention him, but my partner Zach, he's that way. Somewhere he's that way. He in the bedroom that way. He's quite supportive and stuff of my content. I know he contemplates every so often making stuff. He's just not sure what he wants to make. But I've always said, like, I'm more than happy to like help you film with stuff. Like, I've got all the equipment that you'd need to make a video, so it's not like he's lacking that stuff. But he's quite supportive of it. He usually asks, "Oh, did you go live? Did you do makeup today?" and stuff like that. So, and he doesn't really care for makeup, but he's interested enough at least to like ask me. Like, it's more he cares that I care, so he wants to care because I care type thing.
Right.
That's kind of the way Jason is. He cares that I'm happy with it, and he's thrilled that I've met people that are supportive and people that understand my pain. Because that's been the hardest part here is that I don't have I don't have a whole lot of friends that have issues like I have. So it's been, I hate that any of y'all are in pain, but it's been nice to be able to know that we understand each other in a way, you know?
And one of the things about people on YouTube, a lot of us have very similar things where we are isolated in some way. And a lot of us have physical or mental health issues. And this has been, and that's a lot of people that make content have the same issues that we have. And,
Yeah.
and it really, and that makes us have a bond quicker than a lot of other people would, because people who can understand chronic pain and mental health issues and stuff, it's real special because a lot of people dismiss it and don't take it seriously, or they think you're faking, or
Yeah.
unless you've been there, it's hard to understand.
Yeah.
It's just such a gift.
I've got a kitty having a hairball. I'll be back.
Okay.
You always have a kitty having a hairball.
I've got a lot of kitties.
It's true.
I'm fortunate enough, at least, that I'm not on the more extreme end when it comes to physical issues. Like, I just have fucky joints. My joints just give out on me all the time. Literally, as I was setting up for this live stream, my thumb popped out while I was trying to turn the thing to keep my tripod steady. Like,
oh my God.
I've literally had my thumb dislocate picking up a piece of paper.
That's insane.
It's just like, it just pops out. It just does it. It just decides to give out. So, like, I definitely can't, like, in the sense of, like, chronic pain, but I can at least, like, I've constantly got something hurting at one point, and I guess you could argue that is chronic pain, but I don't think of it as chronic pain for me, because it's not, like, a thing. But I also like to believe I'm enough of a compassionate and empathetic person that I can at least imagine what it is like with what I have experienced at the very least, and I can and I always will try and humble myself in that sense of, like, it could always be significantly worse. I could literally be wheelchair bound, or I could literally be stuck in my bed not being able to even walk around my house like I'm able to. It's a struggle sometimes walking around, because my legs or my knees especially will just be like, nah, get fucked, you're not walking anymore. Like, even though Shelley was laughing at it, and it was, when watching it, it kind of seems like it's being put on a bit. But the actual, when I was filming the destruction of the shadows in the Urban Decay palette, like, my knees were genuinely, like, giving out on me in some of those.
Oh, Jesus.
And you could actually hear it cracking. Like, my knees were constantly cracking the whole time I was filming that. And for a couple of days afterwards, I was having struggles walking because my knees were fucked from it. My wrist, this arm, luckily isn't my dominant hand. But when, you know how I did that look with Shelley where it was inspired by Nikki Tutorials, where I had the gold on the center of my lip? My wrist from that was messed up for a couple of days later because of the way I was holding my camera to take photos of it. So sometimes even just photographing can mess me up for a couple of days. And it's annoying because it just, like, it sounds silly. It's like, oh, it's just a wrist or a joint, but it's literally to the point where it's like agonizing pain that radiates all up your arm, and it just really demotivates you from wanting to make content.
Well, James, that is chronic pain. But I mean, sure, you don't want to, accept that that's what it is. But I mean, like, there was a long period of time where I was bedridden and I couldn't do anything. And thank goodness I finally got some insurance through Obamacare and was able to get some doctors and see some specialists. And, it's made a world of difference where, like, I can get around now and do things. And I've had knee replacement surgery and I get back injections all the time. But yeah, there's times where if I do too much, I'm useless for days.
Yeah, so, like, and like you said, I'm sure you probably could classify it as chronic pain to some degree, but I don't like to say that because it's almost, I feel like I'm almost diminishing other people's actual chronic illnesses that they have.
But the thing is that yours is bad enough. you know, and it's not a competition to see who's the worst.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
saying-
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay.
like that. I just don't like to. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I'm silly. It's a silly mentality to have.
Well, you're also young, you know, and like I started having chronic pain from a back injury when I was 25, you know, and so it's been more than half my life that I've had chronic pain, but I didn't call it chronic pain for a really long time.
Yeah, like I don't count it, but I've literally been having joint issues since I was in my teens. Like I've always
Right.
had issues as far as I remember, and like not even exaggerating. Just I've literally like say this is the table with a piece of paper. I've just gone to grab it like that, and that is enough sometimes to dislocate fingers. Like it will just pop out.
Like that's, I mean, James, that's a horrible thing to have happen, you know, where you can't even control that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit the loo. I'll be right back.
go for it, and then we'll answer the next question. But yeah, it's like I was saying, I don't like to call it as like chronic pain because I feel like it diminishes other people's, but then equally, like Rhonda was saying, and like you'd probably agree, and other people, it's not a pissing contest to see who's in the most chronic pain.
Yeah. When you do that, you diminish your own pain, which is not cool either.
Yeah.
But I get it because when I feel bad, I do that shit where I'm like, there's somebody worse off than me somewhere. Yeah, I shouldn't do that either.
Yeah, that's definitely, I always do that. And I know it's not healthy, but it's also like how I persevere too, because it's like, well, meh.
It's almost like a coping mechanism. It's almost like if there is somebody worse out there, I'm not the worst one.
And on top of that as well, like I also never expected to live past 18. So for me, I'm almost like, I also am grateful for just being here. And like, not to make it morbid, but like I didn't have a good childhood and such like that. So I genuinely did not think I would live to see an adult because I thought I would have killed myself by now. And like I haven't, obviously, because I'm here. But I had attempted multiple times and luckily I was not successful. But I also do have the struggle, and I know a lot of peers my age as well have the struggle of we don't actually know what we want to do with ourselves, and it was a whole struggle figuring out what we want to do with our lives as adults because we didn't expect to be adults. I thought I'd be 6 feet under by now because I would have thought that my suicide attempts in the past would have been the ones that were successful, but they weren't. So it's like, and that I think as well is a factor as to why I'm always like, oh, it's not as bad as what other people have, because it's like, well, I'm here. It could literally be worse, or you know, I could be 6 feet under. So
I just don't want you to ever diminish your pain, even with whatever. Just don't ever diminish the fact that you too have pain.
And you don't have to call it chronic pain, but I mean, it's enough because I couldn't imagine what it'd be like to try to just pick up something and my knuckle pop out. You know, that just seems terrifying to me.
yeah, like, and it almost, imagine it's like, I'm sure you can understand. It's like, imagine the nerve is struck by lightning and it shoots straight up all the arm. It's like that when it happens. My ankles do it, my toes do it, my wrists do it, my fingers do it. Sometimes my back and my shoulders will do it. My neck will seize up if I don't crack it every day or two. Like I've literally sometimes had it, my neck seize up to the point where I feel like I have to actually break my neck to get it to not seize up. I don't know.
That's awful.
Yeah, my joints just do not like me. But I try as much as I can. Like even doing makeup sometimes is painful for me, but I will just grin and bear it because I have too much fun doing it. And
Yeah,
that's almost like one of my worst fears is like having something. It's almost like why I'm hesitant to even try and pursue more with doing it, because I would hate to find out that I actually have to give up doing this because it would literally be detrimental to my health doing so. So it's like I just want to be in blissful ignorance.
Yeah. The worst my back ever got was ended up in an ER, and I was temporarily paralyzed.
Shit.
And in the most, like, so much pain that no medicine they could give me, like no morphine, no Demerol, nothing would touch the pain. And that was the worst that I ever had. I couldn't believe that I mean, it was just for a few minutes, but the fact that I was paralyzed for a few minutes was just the most terrifying thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah. I mean, probably
Good times.
Yeah, not the same as yours, but probably one of the most terrifying I've had because joint issues. Dumbass me thought it'd be a fun idea to put my foot behind my head, like back here. The reason why I say it is scary, because as soon as the foot went back there, I kid you not, it felt like everything from here down disconnected, couldn't feel it anymore, went cold. My vision went, like, I literally stopped being able to see. It went black. I don't remember getting my foot from back behind, back out from behind.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, and I never did it again because it genuinely felt like I almost killed myself without any pain. But like I stopped feeling everything from here down. Like it went almost like you've just woken up and it's extremely cold and you're like in an ice bucket. It felt like that from here down. But it felt like top head, but then nothing from below. It was very strange. Never did that again.
Yeah, back in the day when I was skinny, I used to get my foot behind my head.
Yeah.
I can get my leg pretty high up now, but that's really that's a trick.
The only perk with my joint issues, I am hyper flexible, so it can be like fun, but it also very bad when the leg decides to pop out. Yes. Seventh. No, we are on the sixth question, I think. What is your favourite thing to do on your channel? And for me, it's doing these. Going live with people. Being able to talk. Oh my God, vomited in my mouth a little bit. No. Anyway, I love going live with people, getting actually able to like talk face to face. And I've said it a couple of times in other lives. I love how this almost feels like just a Skype call, but people get to also watch it and comment on it. And I love that I found a community of people like you two and Zach and everyone else, like how we all can just go on each other's panels and have fun and just talk. It doesn't even have to be about makeup. And that's probably like my most favorite aspect of having this channel is finding all of you.
That's my answer.
Well,
that's
that's cool. I would definitely say that, you know, going live and being connected to people, but the fact that people tell me and have commented that that they start my day with their videos, like, means so much to me. It's like I am a part of I don't even know how many people's lives. You know, it might be 5 or 10 people, but 5 or 10 people like would worry if there wasn't a video up every morning.
Yeah.
And it's just magical that people have made me a part of their life.
Yeah.
That's just super special.
Yeah, I'd also say as an extra, like for me, and I'll try not to cry because last time I talked about it, I did actually cry on live stream, but it was like having people that were wanting enough to support me to buy things that were associated with me as well. Obviously, like, yeah, whatever. But just like the fact that people were trusting my word enough to want to actually buy something that I'm associated with, like, just blows my mind that there's actual people out there in the world that have my glitter in their hands. Like, what?
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, it blows my mind. It genuinely does. That anyone, just one person bought it, like, blows my mind. But the fact there's being a couple, just, yeah. But to end that beautiful little moment on a lovely note, what's your least favourite part of your channel? The arsehole fucking... It's not even about my channel. It's just channels in general. The dickheads who decide to ruin other people's fun times by bringing their negativity bitch asses to our channels are fun, happy, positive. No.
Yeah, I wrote down trolls.
Yeah, I'm going to knock on some wood, like a real wood table here, and say that I've only had a few trolls, but I've seen how awful they can be. And the trolls that I've had, like, one of them was super scary, and he looked up all my information, and he was like saying, "You live here, and this is your address," and it was all a bunch of old information. But I was just like, that is not even me. There's another person in the city with my name, and I've never lived at that address. I just denied everything. because I wasn't going to give him the satisfaction of going, oh my, I did live at that address 15 years ago, you know.
Yeah.
Like, good job, you know how to use Google.
Right.
No, I personally haven't really experienced a troll. Like, I've had a couple of
Uh-oh,
dickheads.
I'll be right back. The cats are doing something bad.
Uh-oh, the cats are at it. No,
Yeah, my cats,
I
her cats, everybody's cats.
I know.
Ooh, that hairball stank. It was rough.
Like, I've been lucky enough that I haven't had like crazy trolls on my own lives or on my own channel. Like, I've had some sillies, but some of the things that like I've seen people say on other people's lives, like when I was on Bethany's live and when we had that troll talking shit about Natalie, like, nah, like, despicable human beings you are to have to feel like you need to do shit like that. And that genuinely is like the least favorite thing about doing YouTube stuff. And I wouldn't say, like I said, that is anything to do with like our content ourselves, and it's not about my channel. Like, it's not my least favorite thing about my channel itself, but actually like more so my least favorite thing about YouTube as a platform is those negative pieces of shit.
Right. Same.
It wasn't that dramatic, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, was that Ruby?
Yeah, that's little Ruby. She was getting into some stuff she shouldn't get into. She's a kitten. That's what kittens do.
Yeah.
I mean, somehow birds can do that too.
Actually, that's what cats do in general. They are very curious creatures.
Oh yeah, she is definitely that.
No, when I used to have my Indian ringneck, which was an old bird that I had, we ended up having to move where we stored our like bags of crisps or chips because every so often when we'd come home, we'd find a bag of chips destroyed with chips everywhere, and we thought, you know, it was mice. And then one day I actually caught a little shit cunt bird doing it. So it was the bird actually destroying these bags of crisps and eating them.
Oh, my cat Jesse, he loves stuff in plastic bags. And like when we lived in a different apartment, we would sit like a loaf of bread out on the counter and it would disappear, and we would find it in another room where Jesse had like torn open and was starting to eat the bread. And he does it with like packs of socks and bags, like anything in a plastic bag. He's like, mine, and we'll drag it off.
Sonny, my first cat on my own, not my first cat ever, but on my own, was the same way. It didn't matter what it was. If it was in a bag, he had to bite it. He had to put a hole in it. He didn't care what it was.
Yeah, and Jesse's also a bag licker. He loves licking plastic bags.
My Sonny didn't do that.
Oh, he'll lick like any plastic bag. He's a little plastic whore. And we don't know what it is about the bags, but he just is obsessed with them.
Oh, well, as long as he has fun, that's all that matters.
That's right. It doesn't hurt anybody.
Oh, next question is, if you could change anything about your channel, what would it be? The only thing I'd change about my channel is that I had all of the equipment that I have now at the right beginning, because there's a lot of things that I would have liked to do with content-wise before drama with certain YouTubers popped off to the point that they have now, where I would have had a lot of fun filming and doing things. But by the time that I had the stuff to make that content, I was just like, let's just steer clear. And also, I guess argue that I didn't start making stuff for YouTube sooner would be something that I'd change, is that I made content sooner.
The only thing really with me is I wish I would have listened to myself, because the first video, I told myself, you were the president of the theater, you've been on stage, you've done all these things. This is a camera, and you're just there on your own. You should be able to do this very easily, not be nervous. But damn, I was nervous as hell. I wish I would have just let my attitude, who I am, just be who I am.
Right. What was the question again?
What?
Oh, it would be different? I
yeah,
get
if you
lost
could
in my
change anything
headphones.
about your channel, what would it be?
I would like to know how to edit because there's certain videos that I would like to make that I'm not capable of making. Like, people would love to see a video of my tattoos. I'm certainly not going to take a cell phone and like go over my body and show parts that I don't want to show. You know, I would love to be able to do something like that or do a video about the cats. And sometimes I would like to be able to do it, but it's harder for the older I get and my memory's kind of crappy. Like, I need someone to actually literally show me in person what to do. I can't
Yeah.
just watch a video and do it. Sometimes I can learn stuff from videos, but something like that where I will have questions, like, you know, and you can't ask a video questions. But
Right.
editing, I think, would be something that I would like to change. I mean, I'm happy with my content and my videos, and I think I do a great job for not editing. But that would be something.
I agree. And what I actually will say that I quite enjoy about your content, that at first I'm like, wait, is that a thing? But then I realize I love how your backdrop is purposely set up so it almost looks like it's something that's out of focus. So it actually purposely gives your video or your videos this depth of field that normally you'd have to have like a fancier camera lens to be able to get that type of depth of field to happen. This is like tech terminology that are for like cameras. So if you don't know what depth of field is,
No,
understand.
I know what that is.
So it almost gives like this visual that there is more depth of field going on. So it actually, funnily enough, almost elevates your videos. At least from when I watch it, it actually genuinely does make the videos feel more elevated because it has that kind of depth of field look to it, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And what's really funny is it looks deep, like you're saying, it looks deeper than it is. The thing is like my chair is like just a few inches away from my little black gridded shelf. And like, so, and it's like everything's just right up next to each other. And then with the black gridded shelf, everything kind of looks like it's floating a little sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that backdrop for me. It's because the backdrop is purposely designed to look like it's out of focus. It forces that depth of field aesthetic to happen.
Right. Well, what's funny is it was not supposed to. It's just one of those things where it was just supposed to be glitter, but when they blew up the picture, it just was distorted.
And
So
actually, pulling out enough works better for you, in my opinion.
right.
It
Oh
genuinely
yeah.
does make it look like you've got more depth of field happening going on.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That is a huge compliment.
You're welcome. No, and I've always noticed that it was because I love it when you see YouTubers and they have a backdrop and like, yeah, it's cool and all, but for some odd reason I really like it when it is out of focus and it gives that depth of field look to it.
Yeah.
It feels more professional and put together, and it actually does elevate your videos. I feel like it elevates the whole aesthetic of your videos having it that way. I'm sure it wasn't intentional to begin with for the
No, that's just how it ended up, and we thought it looked cool. But yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. It definitely does achieve it, and I love it. I want to get a backdrop because I literally am just using a black blanket set up on top of the clothes rack, and it does my backdrop, and it's fine for now. But I'd like to mention the proper backdrop.
We just got it off of Amazon.
Yes, this one I've got a couple of answers for because it's too hard to just say one. So, but if you could do a video with anyone, who would it be? And like, I only say, like, when it comes to smaller channels, like very small, I only have to say, like, Joe, just because I've known her the longest and I've always wanted to make content and videos with her. So it's not putting down anyone else, but, like, I've literally been wanting to make stuff with her for so long that like, it would be a lie for me to say any other smaller YouTuber, because even though I love you all, I just haven't known you as long as Joe. So
sure, absolutely.
From a pure time perspective, I've wanted to make a video with Joe for so long. But if it comes to like a YouTuber who's already massively established, mine, I actually answered in Debbie's live, I'm pretty sure. Mine is Alexandra Anele, or Anil, or however her name is pronounced. She does the makeup for Pat McGrath's social media. So if you
wow.
if you ever see this really, like all of the eye looks where it's a still, like just a photo close up on the eye, not the videos, the photos. Almost every single photo is of Alexandra Anelle's eye, and she makes YouTube videos, and she has some of the best bits of information in her videos. She is no nonsense. She does like short format videos that are like between 6 and 10 minute long, and she does full on things where she shows step by step how contour can change the shape of your face, how blush can change the shape of your face, how like all of this stuff. And she goes through so much. And she's also shown how she does makeup for the Pat McGrath looks. She didn't show all of it, obviously, to not give away her secrets, especially when it comes to editing. But she is so, what I feel at least, she's very eloquently spoken, and she is extremely talented with her makeup, and she's never hesitated for sharing her information that she's learned through makeup, because she started off, I might be quoting wrong, but I'm pretty sure she actually went to university for finger painting, and then she's developed from that. I know it sounds silly, doesn't it?
It does.
She's never actually like been a professional makeup artist. She just happens to do all the makeup for Pat McGrath. From memory, she said that she was just starting using products from Pat McGrath years and years ago. She got noticed by Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath flew her out somewhere to work with her once, and then ever since then, Pat McGrath's just worked with her for every single launch.
That's awesome.
I think how awesome is that? And and just like the fact that she is so humble enough where she will make all of these videos really dissecting the different parts of a makeup routine and showing and explaining how things work. Like, she was the person that finally made contouring and highlighting make sense from a technical standpoint. Like, I understood you put contour on certain parts to do this, but like her explanation of why you use what it is for what it does, like she really put it in a way that made sense to me. And I just love her content. Just her personality. She's a funny person. She's no nonsense. She doesn't care for drama and bullshit.
Cool.
She's a boss bitch. Love it.
Well, on our scale, it would be James, just because if to make content with him, I would want to be in person, and obviously I want to meet him in person, so that kind of goes hand in hand.
Right.
If I went with a mid-grade, I would say Jen Gerard, because I literally took a chance and messaged her saying, I cannot figure out why my chats are off. Can you help me? And she messaged me a video back, step by step, how to get my comments to turn back on. And I just thought, how cool is that she took the time out of her day?
Wow, that's amazing.
And then if I had to go famous, it'd be Raw Beauty Christie. I think it's self-explanatory. Her whole attitude's just like me.
Yeah. Well, I would love to do content with Candy, obviously, because Candy and I are probably joined at the hip as much as you guys are. And you know, we want to meet in person, but with COVID and stuff, it's like, and then, you know, she's got health issues, and, you know, but it's just not working out right now, which is fine because there's plenty of time in the future. But I would love to make content with Candy. And like mid-level YouTuber, Teresa is dead.
Oh, I love her.
Teresa's dead because she's just so funny, and I feel like I would get along with her. And when I first started doing YouTube, I emailed her questions, and she answered my questions, and she really helped me. And I was like, what kind of equipment do you use? And she's like, I use this and this. And she's just always been responsive when I've asked for help. I mean, I haven't asked her for help in a long time, but it was just so cool because at that time she only had like maybe 4,000 or 5,000 viewers,
Right.
and now she's like almost 15,000. And just the way she does her content, it's just so entertaining and informative. And I wish I could be more like her, like when I review stuff, but I just am not there. And anyone bigger than that, I would love to do something with Katya and Trixie.
Oh,
I would love to be on. I would love to be on. That would be like a dream to be on with Katya and Trixie.
It's so
Yeah.
fucking funny. That shit's funny. Oh god.
And now they have a podcast that's on YouTube too.
Mhm.
And I listened to the first one and it was awesome. I could just listen to them for days.
Yeah, I pretty much could too. No, I think I didn't even technically answer for a big YouTuber because Alexandra is what you would count as medium sized at the very least now. I mean, when it comes to large YouTubers, I like watching them, but there's not really any that I can think of that are large, other than like maybe people like Raw Beauty Christie. Actually,
Right.
one that I would like to. I like her personality, and I feel like we could just chat about a lot of things and just play. Funny enough, would be Nima Tang for me. I just love her.
Oh yeah, I love her.
And I like her. She's just so calm. I like it. Like, I know I can be quite over the top, but I also do really like just being calm. And like makeup is like almost therapeutic for me. So I feel like her and I, we both just be there just playing with makeup. I'd also add like Alyssa Ashley to that too. I love Alyssa Ashley. I also would love to just work with her so then I could get access to her $50,000 camera that she has.
$50,000 camera, that's insane. That's like movie quality.
It is called the Phase 1. It is a 150 megapixel camera. It is ginormous.
I don't know that I'd want that much detail of my face being shown.
I don't care about like imperfections on my eye. I just want to see like the way that camera can capture things and the way that she has been able to capture things with that camera. Like I'd like to pick her brain with like the technical aspects. A lot of the big YouTubers, like I wouldn't want to actually like collaborate with them. I just like to talk with them and like nitpick their brain over little things, if that makes sense. While like all of the smaller YouTubers I'd actually want to collaborate with.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh.
Next question. How long do you see yourself on YouTube? I don't see myself stopping unless I die. Because I just am literally I'm just making this stuff for me. Like it'd be fun if I ever get monetized, but I'm making these things so I have like actual visual keepsakes of me doing certain things. Like some of the videos that I've made, I know I'm going to cherish forever the whole thing behind it. Like when Joe and I do our box swap, like that's going to be so much fun to do. Things like that. I don't see myself ever stopping because the content that I do make where it's just so enjoyable is so enjoyable that I'd be stupid to stop it because I enjoy it so much.
Right.
I just put it until the ride's over because I look at it as right now, and with the monetization, I mean, like I feel like what I've got to gift monetization is just like if the gift has a bow on it, the gift is still a gift and it's still wonderful. The bow just makes it a little better, it's not that big a deal, but in life I just try to ride things until it's over. I figure whatever's in my life right now was meant to be in my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I don't know that I'm gonna stop. I mean, sometimes I think about taking a break, but the thing is, like, I pre-record so many videos that I could literally stop doing stuff for like a week or 2 weeks, and I would be fine. And sometimes I do take a break for like a week, but I really just enjoy it so much, and I am monetized. And I will tell you that as a not very big YouTuber, like, I'm finally going to be able, once I get my bank account verified, I think I'm going to be able to get my first check. And I got monetized in June, and it's going to be for like $140.
Bringing in that dollar.
I know, but you have to like accumulate $100 before you can get paid.
Yeah.
So it's like people think that they're going to get rich on YouTube once they get monetized. And, I'm grateful to have it, and it'll pay some, credit card, bill. It'll pay for a couple pallets, But it's just gonna be awesome to get that. But it's not the end all be all for sure. That's not why I got on YouTube. And the fact that I'm making a little change, that's cool. But I don't see me quitting anytime soon because
Right.
because I do it for myself.
Yeah. Same. Hey, Zinnia.
We have a Zinnia. Hi.
I don't even have to comment.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We always like to have a great, fun conversation, and I'm glad that you are deciding to join us.
Hey, Zinnia.
Yes, love Zinnia. Speaking of Zinnia, I'm actually going to be uploading in the next couple of hours my video where I played with this. I actually followed I don't know if you know at least Zinnia, but Pat McGrath, whenever she has like a palette or whatever, she has a couple of looks and gives you detailed instructions that go with each palette. So I wanted to recreate a couple of the looks, and I recreated 2 that go with this, and I actually want to recreate a couple of more that she's made specifically for this because I loved how they turned out. And one of the looks that I did was using these 2 shades together, and like, oh, it was so beautiful when they were paired together. So this is Fuchsia Shock, and then this one's Smoked Amethyst, and the way that they worked together to make this like almost magenta purple duochrome when they actually mixed, it was so pretty. That was the look, Joe, that was more angular compared to the rounded look.
That's awesome.
So that's going to be uploaded, and I had so much fun. And I mean, like, just like, oh, it's so pretty. And I had a lot of fun with it. It was so much fun. No, what is cool? We have one last question, guys.
Woo! Party!
We have. Oh, there we go. I was just making sure I was catching up on things. Sweet. So the last question is, what is the best thing to happen to you since joining YouTube? And for me, I don't count Joe in this because Joe I knew before YouTube, but like meeting all of you in the community that I've found myself in now, like Zach and Shelley and Rhonda and Zinnia and Debbie and all the peoples. Like I've said it a couple of times now, I genuinely never thought I would ever find this type of community, at least on YouTube. Like I expected it on Twitter, and I found a couple of people on Twitter, and I found a couple on Instagram. But I genuinely never expected to find such a type of community on YouTube, to the point where, and I've even said this as well, if we didn't need the 1,000 subscribers, we could monetize ourselves with the amount that we support one another, the amount that we hype each other up. Like, I've never felt like a community is so powerful that is so small in terms of, like, we aren't millions of people, but we are literally powerful enough that we could monetize each other just through watching.
Yeah.
And I just love the fact that we are powerful enough as a small community that we could literally impact each other's lives in that way if YouTube wasn't so rude and fucking said you have to have 1,000 subscribers. It's like, genuinely, I've literally gotten about 600 watch hours since June until now. So if I kept this up, I could literally be monetized within a year if I didn't have to have the sub count. And like that blows my mind, that just like you guys were just watching and just having fun, and me having fun with you guys, we could literally do that. And I think that's like the best thing that's happened to me, at least on YouTube, is finding such an amazing, powerful community where we pretty much, at least all the people that I've talked to, we don't care for drama, we don't support the drama, we aren't here to talk shit about anyone, we're just here to have fun with makeup and enjoy and share our love and common interest in makeup with each other. And further from that, we've just discovered we actually have more in common outside of makeup, and we all actually have personalities that gel well together. And I like that fact. I love that fact. I don't just like it, I love it. It's great. You guys are literally the reason why I keep on making videos, because I was making maybe a video or two a month max, if I was lucky. you guys are literally the reason why I keep on having fun with it, because you make it fun.
Yeah, I put down not just friends, but seeing how it's affecting all the people I've met. Like even Zach, I met 3 months ago. The amount of growth he has had in only 3 months, and my attitude. James has already kind of a upfront attitude, but even on his videos, he brings it back some because he realizes it's a video that a lot of people can see, and I think that's growth for a young person. Because when I was young, I was like, if this, if that, whatever, you know. But everybody just seems, I don't know. And I mean, even the time period I've been watching you, Rhonda, your makeup skills are getting better and better and better. And I guess that's what happens, you know, of course, when you do eyeshadow 3 times a day like you do. But you know what I mean? Like everybody, you get to really see everybody grow. And I think that's so amazing.
Yeah.
Like Shelly, just the way that Shelly's improved with her makeup, the way that Zach's been not improved, but I won't say it's improved, but more so it's been able to actually feel more comfortable on camera. Like I remember he was so quiet, and like you've said as well, Joe, how like he would almost rely on games as a crutch for his content. Now he doesn't need to rely on that. Yeah, we can do some games when we're about an hour to 2 hours into a live, but like the sheer facts that he can hold it up now, it's amazing. And I love the fact that it's just us all supporting and loving one another. It's
Angela
amazing.
Parker says hello.
Hi, Angela.
Oh, hello, Angela.
Hi, Angela.
Yes.
I don't know you, but it's nice to meet you.
Angela, this is Rhonda. We love us a good Rhonda.
Personalities. And I mean, hey, I've got a very, very abrasive personality. I even recognize that as me as an individual, I can be quite abrasive and quite like blunt. And I understand when people don't like me because I can be an asshole in the sense of like I say it how I feel it. And I am a nice person now. I at least feel like I can be a nice person, but I'm also a very blunt and honest person. And some people don't like that. And I'm also can be a quite vulgar person as well because I just talk shit. I've got a potty mouth here. But definitely I'd have to say for me, the best thing that's happened to me, like I said, is meeting all of you as a community. It genuinely makes actually being on YouTube enjoyable. Like I was having fun, but it wasn't enjoyable actually being on the platform. But now it is. Like I look forward to going on and seeing who's live and joining someone's live stream and chatting with them and getting to know them. I love it. I love it. It's great fun.
Yeah, I would have to say the same because I said it before, but you know, when you start this, you don't know, you just don't have the idea. You know, I thought I would just be, you know, this little tiny fish and I would just be doing it. And if people saw it, then that was cool. But the connection to the people is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and I will always be appreciative of you all and wanting to even just be in this live stream right now. Like I never expected people to want to even care to listen. Like I guess it sounds silly to be like, I'm surprised that anyone would want to like listen to what I'm saying because I know I can be funny. I can have a personality that people like, but I don't picture myself as a public person. I've always been like, I don't care for that. Like I make these videos with the, like how Joe was saying, while I do tone back some things to make it a bit more palatable, I definitely don't make it with the intent of millions of people to see it. I'm just making this for me and a couple of my friends to see it, and if other people do, then yeah. But
hey, Jamie.
Like, hi, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie. Good morning.
But yes. Oh, and I think I wasn't sure if I answered you or not, Zinnia. No, that's the wrong one. Yes, Joe and I, at the end of the year, we are sending makeup to each other. Before we actually started doing YouTube and such, we wanted to share or send a box of makeup to each other. And then we got onto YouTube, and now it's just become a whole, let's just film ourselves sending it to each
Yeah.
other. Or really what we're
I
going
think
to do.
it was like the end of January or February when we decided to do the box, because we were like, well, if we start now, then it's little pieces throughout the year and it won't be so expensive.
Yeah. And I think the idea that we have, Joe, where we go live and we take turns pulling one thing out of the box each, I think that would be a really fun way of at least unboxing it all, and then we can go and film an actual, like, using the stuff from the box. Like, I think
Right.
it'd be
Yeah,
really
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
It's just going to suck who gets their box first and has to wait.
Well, we're both going to have to wait anyways, because I doubt we're going to get it, or like one of us will get it the day of filming.
Well, that's true.
Suck if that happens. But
I just know that you're going to get your box and I'm going to have to wait like 3 more weeks. Oh, no, vice versa.
Yeah, I have no idea how long it's going to take my package to get to you, James. And Rome didn't give me the tracking, and I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Don't say sorry. Most of the time, a lot of things when they get sent, the tracking doesn't work anyway, because international tracking says, fuck you.
Yeah. How long does stuff take usually to get from the US to you, James?
It wholly dependent on the person that it's going through. So, like, DHL is usually the slowest, I've found.
Oh, DHL is garbage.
Yeah, USPS is pretty decent. That
yeah,
I've had something arrive within a week from America once, which blew my
wow.
mind. But that was before COVID. After post-COVID, it's usually around 3 weeks to 2 months at the latest. But that's if it's just normal postage. Express, obviously, it's going to be faster. But like for sending to Joe, I literally only have the option of Express, because otherwise I would have had to send my box at the beginning of September.
Wow.
Yeah, because
that's crazy. Well, I hope you get yours by Halloween.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It'd be cool. I'm obviously, if it doesn't arrive by then, it's no big drama. Because I'm just appreciative that you decided to even gift me anything, even though you're naughty for doing so.
I love being naughty. I'm a naughty girl. I have so much stuff. I just love sharing what I have.
See, I get that. I wish shipping wasn't so expensive for me, because I'd be pretty much doing the exact same thing. And if I just had the money in general, I'd love to be able to send things to everyone. Be like, everyone enjoy the makeup, or everyone enjoy the stuff, especially Australian things. I just want to send Australian things to everyone.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, it looks like Zach is getting my little Canadian snacks together, so that's exciting. I can't wait to do a live eating Canadian snacks.
And also, I'll ask beforehand. I knew Joe would be fine with it when I did it. But are you okay, Rhonda, if your return address is on the box, if I write it down and keep it for future reference? For myself?
Absolutely. You can. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I just wanted to ask, because I know even though it's probably included on it, I wanted to ask and not just assume it's fine.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
Awesome.
How do you know that I put my real address on it, though?
Well, I'd assume you would, because if it went missing, it would, or if it did a thing, it would return. So
I put 1234 Main Street, Anytown, USA.
Oh shit! Yeah, good luck.
Oh, Jamie, Joe and James are gonna do a Christmas exchange, and I just decided to send some things to James, so it's not just the same box. It's just they're doing an exchange, and then I'm sending him some stuff because there's a palette he wanted, and I had it, and I thought he would like it.
Yeah, so Jamie, my box that I'm sending in particular to Joe is filled with like Australian items, like makeup items that you can either only buy in Australia, the majority of them, and the only things that are kind of exceptions to that is some BYS stuff. And they are just stuff that were like my personal favorite items, at least, and I wanted to gift it. Like BYS is so good. I know I haven't really tried their eyeshadows, but
good.
Their glitter primer I highly recommend. It's only a couple of dollars. It's clear, so you can also use it as a mixing medium with pigments, and you can make like liquid pigments and such and use that as a, it's because it's clear, you can make it really opaque with the color.
Right. Like I've used 2 BYS palettes so far, and they just keep getting better. Like I made the look that I put up on Instagram yesterday was with the BYS peach palette, and it was just beautiful and blended beautiful and pigmented. It was only like $15, and
Yeah, they're crazy.
yeah, and it's so good. It was so good. It's better than a lot of more expensive palettes that I've used for sure.
Legitimately, which is kind of crazy. But I'll grab it and show you. But this
Zach
is
is now getting ready to go to the ER. He just messaged me.
awesome.
Zach, his foot got worse last
Oh
night.
Jesus!
Yeah, he showed us it got very,
It was
very
really bad. Candy swears at cellulitis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the BYS glitter primer that I use. It's like a clear gel, but it dries down tacky, so you can use it as like an eye base. I've used it on the lips before, so I've mixed it with like a pigment to turn it into like a lip paint.
Cool.
And like I said, it's just clear, like a clear gel, or
Yeah, they have a whole store of it on Amazon, like
Yeah.
with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so like as you can see, it's completely clear. And what I really like about this compared to other products when I've used it as glitter adhesives, especially like lash glue and such, I find that can sometimes disturb the actual eyeshadow underneath, and you can get like patchiness. While if you use, or whenever I've used this and I've figured out how to properly use it, it doesn't disturb the shadow at all, and almost it turns your shadows into like a latex finish, and then you can put it on the top of it. I know
Well,
it's
that
great.
sounds much better than my NYX primer and my NYX glitter glue.
This is like $2. It's
That's
$2.
amazing.
So like I'd highly
I
recommend
didn't know about it. I've got the NYX, but it don't always work great. So I went and paid a bunch of money for the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, and this is great. But I'd rather have a great one for $2.
Right.
And you
Hey,
don't
Jamie,
miss in your box.
which Mitchell palette are you looking for? Because I've got the Morphe one. I don't have the one from Beauty Bay.
I need that, the Me, Myself, and Mitchell one. Oh,
Yeah.
The Morphe one is really good. It was much because I'm not a big Morphe fan at all, but the collabs that Morphe does are much better than the regular Morphe in my
I actually think so too. I'm not a huge fan of Morphe, just regular palettes, but for some reason, every time I get a collab, they work really great. So I swear they use different formulas.
Well, and the Mitchell palette it's such a unique color story to a lot of Morphe palettes that I really, really like it. I've got it set out to do another look with it because it's been a while, but
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, the only Morphe palette I've used was the collab one with Jeffree Star, and it was fine, but like similar tones that were in it, I just had better from other brands.
Yeah, I like the Jeffree Star one. Okay, it's not the best. It's not the greatest palette ever, but I always made some really pretty looks with it. I was pleased with it compared to some other Morphe experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And the greens in that Jeffree Star Morphe palette are really good.
Yeah, I liked the tones of them too. They were interesting tones. They weren't just typical greens.
Yeah, absolutely. Do 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 do.
I just looked. Apparently, my my PR box from Star Gem is within Australia now. It's not in Japan anymore. Woohoo! On the way.
Is that the original one?
I think that's the original one. I don't.
Oh no, on Star Gem.
No,
Oh.
not the original box. That one's still just gone. We don't know what happened with that one. That
Oh,
hurts.
okay.
That hurts me more so because like the first one that went missing, that was on the smaller side. But this one that went missing this time was literally 2.2 pounds full of makeup. Just gone.
Yeah.
It's just gone. And like, I even told Stargem at the time, like, you can remove me from PR because this actually hurts me, like, emotionally, knowing that, like, you are spending so much money on me and, like, it's just going literally to waste because dickheads can't keep track of it in the USPS system. And, like, they're a small indie brand. They can't afford to have literally hundreds of dollars of makeup go missing. We're talking, I had... in that box, there were all of their setting powders. There was the Ode to the Oracles palette. There were, like, all of these things just gone.
Yeah.
And it really frustrates me because, like, obviously I can't help anything or can't do anything about it, but I just feel guilty because it was being sent to me. But yes, so we have the Stargem PR, which is in Australia, so at least that's made it to Australia. Apparently my Bella box for October comes tomorrow.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be, considering it's stupid early in the month for it, because technically they are supposed to start shipping out the Bella boxes on the 15th, and they ship this one out before the 15th, so
Right.
I don't know why. But this one I'm also excited for because I've seen one sneak peek in it. And if you've watched my actual video that I did for it, you know what the sneak peek is. If you don't, I'm getting a Fenty Beauty lipstick in my Bella box.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, I don't know what else I'm getting, but something Fenty Beauty related.
I like to have mystery. I like surprises. Like, I don't, like, for my Allure box, I've already seen people put up videos for it, and I won't look at the videos because I want to be surprised.
Yeah, like, it's only just that one product that is told. It's like how I think BoxyCharm does it, where you at least find out like one item that at least is coming in the box.
Right.
Or what they do sometimes, they'll just tell you outright what the product is, or there'll be a one of three options. So you'll have, like, you either get this item, or this item, and it just tells you which ones there's a possibility for that month, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like my last box that I got, well, my first box, I should say, that one I got an eyeliner as my one of three option, which is pretty cool. It's a nice looking liner. I haven't opened it yet because there's no point having 7 different black liners open all at once.
Yeah, I've been using the Star Gems black eyeliner in my last couple videos, and it's pretty good.
I've heard a lot of good things about this.
It's very black. I think I prefer a smaller tip. It's kind of a big tip. But it's nice and black, and it goes on easy. So,
and they're expanding the range of liners soon too. They're going to be adding more colors.
Yeah, well, I'm using the felt tip one. I don't know if I said that.
Yeah, that's the only one they have now. They used to have a creme gel pot liner that got discontinued but turned into... Yeah, I think we did answer it. I don't think we have it. We all want it, sadly, Jamie. I'm sorry.
Right. That's the one from Beauty Bay, because I think you can still get the one from Morphe.
Yeah. You have it, don't you?
From Morphe, yeah.
No, she has the Me, Myself, and Moo Mitchell one.
Oh, damn, you clever girl.
I love Mitchell so much. As soon as I think I heard on Jeffrey's channel or something, and I mean, I woke up just like crazy and pushing buttons like crazy to get it.
Yeah, that was me.
It actually wasn't that expensive, so I really, really wanted it.
Yeah, it's hard to catch that in stock, though.
Did you know, Joe, that Mitchell's about to come up with his own line?
I've heard.
He's like, I don't think he's shown off products, but like the actual account's a thing. It's called Made By, I think, is the brand name. Just Made By.
That's cool. I love Mitchell. He's amazing.
His artistry, like, the fact that his looks look like they're photoshopped on when they're like in a video looks crazy. Like, and I love his technique with how he builds up the color. I'm in Australia.
Carrie, that's never too early, girl.
Exactly. We've been doing this for a minute.
we should really change the name of this to James and the Naughty Girls because you're all naughty peanut flavored.
Naughty girls need love too. Ooh, 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 ooh.
I want to say, let's have a look on the palettes.
The only thing I don't like about this little ring light is it has to charge up, and then as you use it, it starts getting weaker. And so now I'm blue again. But if I turn it off, I'm like really dark.
There's a new Beauty Bay palette out and it looks so pretty. It's purples and blues. It's so pretty.
Yeah, then I haven't slept yet either.
Oh,
Jeffrey's mystery boxes, they come out on Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
10 a.m.
It's 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Same time that the lipsticks go live.
Yeah.
But this is the Beauty Bay palette that I'm like, oh my god, camera, can you swap? Hello. Hello.
Oh, that is pretty.
Yeah, I just don't do blues like that. It is super cute.
I love teals. I love teals and bright blues. I just like any bright color. Any bright color, I will wear. I don't care what it is. Get in there, you bastard. Oh no, I tested you guys. You're not.
I have slept, Sherry. I just don't sleep very long.
Yeah, you need sleep.
Sleep when I'm dead.
Yes, I do. It makes me sad. The if people wanted it and they didn't get it, the Beauty Bay and Nikki Tutorials palette is back up on the website and it's still in stock. But the Me, Myself, and Mimi Mitchell one, no, sadly. I love blues. Blues work well on my skin.
I like blue.
Sherry, I wish I could get 8 hours of sleep. My whole life would be completely different. But
When I get 8 hours, I actually feel like crap. I feel good at 5.
The last time I had close to 8 hours was when I was on my cruise last year. For some reason, the first night that I was on the ship, I slept amazingly well. Like, I hadn't slept that well in years. But that was like last October. Naughty girls need love too. Ooh, 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 ooh.
I tried that, Sherry. They even gave me Ambien and Ambien 2, and they didn't work, and they made me feel groggy on top of not working. And then I tried Tylenol. It put me to sleep, but then I had nightmares for some reason.
Yeah, I take trazodone, which helps me get to sleep, but it doesn't keep me asleep.
That's the one my doctor tried to get me to take to go to sleep. He's like, you got to go to a place and lay down and no TV and the lights out. And I tried for 3 weeks and it didn't work.
Yeah, it's hard, especially if your brain won't shut up.
Yeah, that's my brain not shutting up. And then along with the pain, it's just like, forget it.
Yeah, I'm just real lucky my pain is controlled right now. And it's been controlled for a while. But, I mean, the days where it wasn't controlled are not that far away that I don't remember.
I can't wait till the 20th. I get that nerve burned and I will be a happy woman for a little while anyway.
Yeah. Oh, Sherry just takes Unisom and melatonin.
Oh, I would love to be able to just take that.
Melatonin doesn't do nothing. Nothing
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
like sugar pills for me.
And Unisom, I mean, I can take Benadryl, it'll get me to sleep, but it won't keep me.
Right.
Right, Sherry. Oh, I've got sleep apnea too, Jamie.
Yeah, I have the CPAP and all the jazz
and I've got pulmonary hypertension, which is technically congestive heart failure, but it's such a tiny amount. My heart is still in really good shape that I don't ever usually talk about that.
Right.
Because it's just so minor. But once you have it, you have it. Because like when I go to the heart doctor, like congestive heart failure, I'm like, I don't feel like congestive heart failure.
Right.
But it's a lot more common than people think.
I mean, like I just imagine when you hear that it's like full on
Exactly.
Like your heart is actually like you're about to die, not just like it could just be a little bit of fluid around your heart and it's causing an impairment of some kind. That's technically a form of heart failure. So like
Right.
there's certain levels to it.
Yeah. And ooh, Jamie's got cages in her back and her neck. Ugh, that's awful. Poor girl. Well, we definitely understand chronic pain here.
Yeah. James probably needs a couple cages. He dislocates everything. I just know one day I'm
I've
going to
seen
call
Hollywood
and like this
body at
finger's just going to be dangling or something.
Sometimes it just does.
We'll be talking and I'll hear ow and he'll go, look at this. I'm like,
Oh, I want to go somewhere else where something else gets out of joint, but hopefully it doesn't show you that, Joe. Why?
the day I kept calling him while he was in the shower, I thought I was fixing to get that kind of show. He answered his phone in the shower. That was so funny. I laughed so hard all day about that. I loved it. It was so funny.
That's awesome.
There's been times where I've been in the shower and it's like 11 o'clock at night and my bird's screaming at the top of her lungs. And I'm like, I have to show someone because otherwise you won't believe me that it's 11 o'clock at night and my bird's screaming because it wants the moisture coming from the bathroom. Because my bird Cinnamon, she likes the humidity and she likes being sprayed with a water bottle because apparently I have a bird that likes to be sprayed with a water bottle.
She likes to be a naughty bird.
No, she will literally like act like it's a bath. I'll just spray her with a water bottle and she starts bathing in it. I'm like, okay.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. That's so. I think it's adorable.
Yeah, like a lot of the times they'll like it if they're in a shower, but they don't like it if it's like something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Strange. My bird's strange.
Jeez, Jamie, that's awful. That's terrible. 100 pounds of water in your legs and abdomen and lungs. Yeah, that does sound pretty severe. I take water pills too, so I pee constantly and I drink constantly. Because if you all have ever noticed, I drink like so many beverages all the time.
I have to do the same. Mine's because my pills dehydrate me, unfortunately.
Right.
I just drink a lot of water because I'm a thirsty hoe.
You're a thirsty bitch, is what you are. A thirsty bitch. You get the neck going.
If I do that, my neck will pop, and I'm not going to do it.
I know,
Okay.
I need to sometimes control myself because there's been multiple times where I've moved and then I've dislocated something, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No, John, were you in the live stream when we decided to look up trademarks of Luna Beauty and we discovered new things? Okay.
That was
what
just
other brands? Because I got my proper trademark website to work now, so I know how to browse this one. What brands shall we discover?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Like Sherry and Jamie don't know about the Manny stuff, which is exciting. You could tell them about that.
Yes, let me know, you guys, Jamie, Sherry, Zinnia,
Yeah.
anyone else. We have 7 people watching right now. Oh my god.
That's amazing. Good morning, everybody. You're crazy.
I know. Why are you starting your day with this shit? The fuck?
The love boat soon will be making another run. The love boat.
I'm actually going to jump off here and let y'all have all the fun in the world. I'm going to try one more time to go to sleep.
All right, sweet Joe.
Love you, Joe.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Yeah, love you in chat. Everybody have a good night. Bye, guys.
Bye, honey.
But yes, for those who are still watching and you don't know, we sometimes like to have fun and look at trademarks because you can find some interesting things about things in trademarks. And while some people argue that they don't like the fact that people look at trademarks and it's like, oh, you're ruining the fun. I'm like, not really, because we might know the name, but we don't know the whole concept behind it. We don't know everything else. So if you are aware enough and to search for them, you might already know these answers. But it was recently discovered that Luna Beauty's latest collection that is close to coming out, well, at least I found the name for it. I also found other interesting little tidbits, like, do you know the drama channel Rich Lux?
Yeah.
He's got a trademark for a cosmetics line currently.
Yeah, well, he did a really successful launch with Hank and Henry for a couple different lippies.
As well as the Ice Cream Shack setting spray with Gerard.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I own it. It's so
that
fun.
went real well.
No. So we've got, for Luna Beauty, what I believe will be, what I'm hoping goes with this, because we've already got kind of a moon theme going on with Strawberry Dream. The next eyeshadow palette is supposed to be called Eternal Eclipse. So, I mean, Eternal Eclipse going with this moon, imagine a, like, vampy, almost like gothic nighttime
Absolutely.
version.
That's exactly what I picture.
Like, that would be beautiful.
Super dramatic and shimmery.
Yeah. And then the other product that's supposed to be coming is the Outer Dimension face palette, which I'd like to believe is the follow-up to this, which is the blush palette, but like a contour bronzer version of it. While I was discussing earlier in the video, I can actually somehow use these two darker shades. I use these more like a blush and a bronzer all in one. So I'll put it more close up here and mix it in with my bronzers, just because I like doing so. Oh my God, I hurt the pan a little bit. It's okay, I'm sorry. I stabbed it a little bit with the plastic.
Zinnia and Just Jessica have a Rich Lux collab going up Friday. That's cool.
Ooh, fun. That'd be cool. But yes, so we're getting a face palette, which I'm like equally like that. I hope that it sticks with this kind of aesthetic. I'm imagining if it's a face palette, we're going to get like more browns and stuff like that. And I mean, that would be pretty cool to get a brownie type version, but also just like, look at that packaging. That is insanity.
And hopefully he'll put one of those awesome highlighters in it too.
Yeah, I only have one of his highlighters.
I don't have any.
Yeah, it's a shade that isn't the most usable. I only can use it if I'm doing like orange blushes, because it kind of acts more like a blush topper because of how dark the shade is. But the main reason why I got that is I've already got a ton of shades that are similar to his lightest shade, so I didn't see any point in buying the upteenth fucking like goldish highlighter. So I got something a bit different.
Yeah, I need to do a declutter of my highlighters because I've got so many highlighters and my blushes, and I need to do something because I've got so many face palettes. I feel like I have so many face palettes.
So another one we can look at. Let's look at Hank and Henry. Why not? Let's see if there's anything for Hank and Henry.
Hank and Henry, yeah. I can put anything to the Backstreet Boys. Oh, that would be cool, Jamie. I love doing collabs with you, sweetheart. You're the coolest.
I just like slapping things on my face.
We could do, I don't know what kind of palette. I don't know what kind of collab, but a collab's always fun. Jamie's super creative too.
I loved her look that she did for the fall collab with Tammy. I even told her, but like I loved the way that she did the pumpkins, and like there was something about it. Was the art style really reminded me of like these old illustrated kids books that I used to get, that like, you know, those ones where I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but it had like rabbits and different animals in it, and it was like all like water painting type style art. And like Jamie had done a similar type style with her pumpkins and for the fall collab, and I loved it. That's
awesome. See, I am hesitant to try anything really artistic. Like putting makeup on is one thing, but like doing something where you like actually draw something or paint something on your face, I'm totally hesitant to do anything like that because I just hate to make a mess. But I did get adventurous and do that candy corn eye look the other day. That was exciting. Oh, Jamie, don't cry. You're just so awesome and you're so clever.
Yes, don't cry. You know that I've already told you all of this before, so I love it. Some of the trademarks that Pat McGrath has is so strange.
Well, how many? I mean, Mothership Forever, you know.
No, it's not them. She's got a whole line of trademarks that are all skin related.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's got foundation, doesn't she?
Yeah, but they're nothing to do with it. They're all new ones, as in they were all trademarked this year.
Oh, wow.
Skinterview, skin intoxicating, skin instantaneously. That was
Maybe,
horrible.
I guess it's like skincare, maybe.
Skin inhibitionist, skin discreet, skin conspicuous, skin cognito, skin comparable, skin dependent, skin candescent, skin indulgence.
Wow. That's pretty terrible. Those names are, wow.
They were so awkward to try and pronounce.
I guess, you know, clever as clever does. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I just like looking at these trademarks. Sometimes it's fun to see what brands do. Some of the trademarks that you can find and the namings of things are actually ridiculous and makes no sense. Some of the trademarks that Urban Decay owns, they're so silly.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
I'll have to bring them up but I remember them being like, what the fuck?
How many more naked things can they do? Probably a
No,
lot.
it wasn't anything like that. It was just like the words were strange. Yeah, like this one was a line of baby products called Urban Babe by Urban Decay.
Are you sure it's baby? Could
Baby
be.
toiletries, baby oil, baby lotion,
Wow.
baby powder, baby hair conditioner, baby shampoo, and baby wipes.
That's crazy.
Um,
Because you know it's not going to be cheap. But there's a lot of bougie babies out there.
this one, what the fuck? This is a mascara. Galoshes for lashes.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's really bad.
I know, like, I love just looking at these. And
Galoshes for lashes. That's terrible.
I know, right?
That is like I would not wear anything called galoshes for lashes.
I know, right? It just doesn't sound nice.
No. Like
Well,
the
what the
last.
fuck is that supposed to be? They have one called Stoned Poison Ring.
Like I didn't even like the Stone Vibes palette that much.
I like this one. Big Fatty Lip Plumper.
I'll do the ad for that. That's crazy. I wouldn't want anything called Big Fatty on my mouth. How would they think that that's a good term for anything?
Or this one is a lip gloss, Blow Lip.
That's kind of gross, also.
Yeah. Another great one. This is apparently a fragrance, Urban Decay Stash.
Really?
Yeah, like it just makes me think of a mustache.
Yeah, or my mustache.
Yeah, I swear they had like even worse ones than that, but I think I'm looking in the Urban Decay part and not the L'Oreal part, and the L'Oreal one has even crazier ones.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, that Urban Babe one was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of high-end baby stuff to be had.
I like this one. A perfume called Liquid Hard Candy. Like, I can get it, but like that does not go with the Urban Decay vibe.
No, and there's already a makeup brand called Hard Candy.
Which is funny because Urban Decay owns Hard Candy as a trademark.
Oh, really? That is funny.
Yeah, literally the word hard candy is a trademark by Urban Decay. So I'm like, wonder why L'Oreal has never sent a cease and desist, because L'Oreal owns Urban Decay.
Well, maybe they own Hard Candy too.
Possible, but it'd be so strange.
Yeah. Because Hard Candy nail polish used to be the shit back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Hard Candy had the coolest, like, nail polishes with glitter and dark colors and, you know, kind of alternative vibes. And there used to be these little rings that would come on the top of the nail polishes. They were a big deal. I used to have a bunch of them.
Oh my god, there's so many pages of trademarks by L'Oreal. Oh god.
Well, they're immense. They probably just trademark everything they think of.
Some I get, but I don't understand.
And Jamie, the mystery boxes don't go on till Friday, sweetheart. Nobody's gotten any mystery boxes yet.
Nah, they're not up yet. But what you are seeing, Jamie, he lately has been adding things before the launch. They are sold out until the actual launch time. It's to help with actually getting it up, because there's been too many issues with previous launches where products haven't been uploaded at the right time. Remember how the bullshit that happened with the Shane Dawson conspiracy launch, how there were some products missing? It's essentially to stop that from happening. So they aren't sold out. They're just being put up earlier so people can look at it. Wait.
Right, so, what?
You know how I talked about how he changed the thingy on his brand to be Magic
Star? Yeah.
He's changed it again. It's Velvet Trap now.
Well, Velvet Trap is the name of his lipstick.
Yeah. But the weird thing is, he's never changed the logos ever before.
Right.
So it's like, why now?
Well, he's ever evolving, that's for sure. He's like a snake, changing his skin all the time.
That's kind of a weird name for that.
Okay. 1 p.m. Eastern time, Jamie. 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, it's frustrating, Jamie, when you're like, oh my god, oh no, I've lost out. But no, he's been doing that to help mitigate issues with Shopify not having all the products up on time. So he's just been uploading them all early and then not having them set as like available. So there's just, you don't have to worry about it not being there.
Because like every time he does a launch on his website, it's a clusterfuck. So.
Oh, sure. Even on the reseller websites, it's always a clusterfuck.
And there's no other word for it.
Really, there isn't. There really isn't.
It's just what it is. Like, I got so lucky when, like, I was literally, when Conspiracy came out, I was on a cruise ship in the Gulf of Mexico, and I was able to get the palette, which was crazy. Yeah, I'm Eastern time too, Jamie, so it's 1 p.m. But I always go early, and like I start about a half hour before and just keep refreshing, because sometimes stuff goes on sale like a couple minutes early.
Yeah, that's what I do as well, pretty much.
And it's a little obsessive, but you know, it helps to be able to get stuff. I'd like to get, I don't know if I can swing the $100 box, but I definitely want the 60. There's a $25 box, Jamie, a $60 box, and a $100 box. The $25 box has 3 items in it. The $60 box has, I think, 4 or 5 items, and there's a special limited edition item in there. And then there's, in the $100 box, I think there's 8 items, and 2 of them are special to the Halloween box. Hey, Kelly, what's up, sweetheart? Long time no see.
Yes, I'm not getting any of them because I want to save my money for other stuff. Like I'm excited for the next Manny MUA Luna Beauty launch and that
Right.
kind of stuff.
I just love mystery boxes because people always complain about the colors of stuff, and I've gotten some weird colors, which is fine. But I also got like one of my favorite lippies from Jeffree Star ever, Family Jewels, which is this really beautiful brownie nude tone, which I never would have tried otherwise, and it's something that I go to, especially during the fall.
What the fuck is that?
Ooh, dentist, that's fun. Yeah, Jamie, I think I'm probably going to just try for the middle one. But with his shipping is so crazy expensive. I just hate that it adds another $10 to it.
That sounds gross. I'm back. I'm looking at Estee Lauder trademarks, and apparently there's even trademarks that they still own from the 60s and 70s, and some of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the one that kind of sounded gross to me is a skin cream called Estoderm.
Ew, that sounds awful.
And this one, which I'm like, what does that mean? They owned it, is called Glow in the Round.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be palettes in it or not, Jamie. You just never know.
Well, there have been in the past, so I would be very
Yeah.
surprised if you didn't have any palettes.
In the middle box, I don't know. Yeah, I had a dentist appointment last week, Miss Kelly, and it was like 8 a.m. But I love getting stuff out of the way because I hate to wait in a wait. Well, especially with COVID, but I really hate to wait in a waiting room. I just like to get her over with. But I didn't have any cavities, so that's brilliant.
That sounds good.
But I pretty much have all the palettes that I want from Jeffree Star right now. So anything, the only I've got, yeah, $50 palette, $10 shipping. That's why I like to get stuff for your Beautylish because over $35 it's free shipping and you get it faster because Jeffree Star also takes his time shipping stuff out.
Shipping is horrible for me in
Oh,
Australia.
I can't even imagine.
When I was still actively buying from Jeffree Star, oh my god. At least when I was buying from his website, I remember I'd purchased, I think it was, I'll actually get up the proper information so I can tell you the exact numbers because I know it was pricey. But I'm sure I've had some where they were like the price of the actual products when they've been sent has been crazy. There we go. Let's look at this order. So I had purchased. Oh fuck! So I'd purchased the Supreme Frost Candy Apple Drip, 2 lipsticks called Thick as Thieves, which is a dark peach, and then a lipstick shade called Candy Ass, which is this like metallic pinkish red.
Oh, that sounds pretty.
It was $30 Australian shipping for just that.
Jesus. That's so much money. Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly. But at least you're getting it over with. That's the most important thing. Get her done.
Sucks, but better getting it done than not. I mean, I can't talk. I'd need to go to the dentist. It's been way too long.
Well, then make an appointment, James.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, you definitely want to take care of your teeth because to replace them is expensive.
I mean, technically, you're in Australia. If my teeth get to a certain point, I can get them replaced for free. So fuck them up, fam.
funny. Oh, yeah, Kelly. Early dentist appointments bite. I see what you did there. You're so silly.
See, like, I don't want to get them to have like white teeth. I'd like to get them just to have like shape wise. I'd like to get veneers. Like I am one of the type of people I don't actually see why there is such a big hype over having white teeth. It's not natural.
Yeah, mine are still stained from smoking, and
Mine is
I had too many teeth when I was little, and the tooth on this side, right after the front teeth, is gone, and so I just have the incisor there, and people think that my tooth is broken, but it's not.
no. I have like a little bit of staining on like from my like fangs back, but the front teeth are relatively white. I just would like to, if anything, I've got chipped teeth from when I used to have lip piercings and stuff. Because
Oh yeah, thanks,
and
Kelly.
it's not to the point where I feel uncomfortable with like my teeth showing. I don't care about that. The only
Right.
thing the only actual cosmetic surgery I would ever consider realistically getting would be getting lip filler, and it's not to actually make my lips bigger. It'd be to even out the shape of my lip on my lower lip, because when during childhood I'd stress and stuff, I used to chew through my lip, and I've actually like severely reduced the amount of volume in one side of my lip. You can't notice it when I'm talking or far away, but if I stop moving my lips, you can see it.
Yeah, I see. Well, I was in a car wreck, and they didn't, and they it was a really bad car wreck, and I had braces, and I hit the dashboard, and my teeth broke in half, and they didn't, and they sewed everything back together, and in the as an emergency, but they didn't realize my jaw was broken, so everything they did had to be redone, and I've got a scar. You can't tell because it's a crappy camera, but I've got a scar on my lip, and it goes down into my below my lip, and like it makes a big crevice now for foundation, and it makes it hard to do even lip looks. So um, that's yeah. And I almost died. I was in ICU and everything.
Crazy.
And I was like, I was like, I got glasses in second grade. I got braces in third grade, which is extremely early to get braces. And I wore them, and I was literally a month away from getting my braces off to have, perfect teeth lined up and everything. And I broke my bottom teeth in half. This is a bridge.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and I'm good. And my chin, like when I lose a lot of weight, my chin is uneven. It's jagged from breaking my jaw.
Oh, okay.
Very
See, like,
exciting.
yours sounds more badass than mine. I just chew my lips to fuckery because I'm stressed out. How boring does that sound?
Oh, but you're never boring, James. You're not a boring person.
I try sometimes. But no, it would be, yes, it is the one thing that I would actually like realistically get would be lip to fix the shape of it.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jamie. I go live all the time. I go live early. It's the hard part for me is like time zone wise makes it hard to try and line things up. But I usually will go live. So right now it's about to be 10 p.m. for me. So whatever time it is now for you, I usually go live around this time AM or PM for me. So around this time AM or PM for you is usually when I go live as well, Jamie.
And I usually just do Tuesdays at 7, but I've been going a little more sporadically lately. Oh, honey, I'm sure it's going to be great.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's fantastic. Like, are you joking? Are you joking? You have me jealous of your painting skills with the pumpkin. I was so sad. Like, oh my god.
You're so talented, Jamie. Everybody, of course, learns from their mistakes. Everybody's got room for improvement. None of us are, you know, stopping the world just yet, but it doesn't mean that you won't.
Oh, Matt. Ooh. Thanks for that back, you bitch.
What time is it going up, Jamie, so I can look for it? Because I have so many subscriptions that stuff doesn't always pop up for me. I have to look for things. And I always will give an honest opinion for sure, because I don't like to be a liar. 'Cause it's hard to keep track of lies, and it's much easier to tell the truth. And I've got a terrible memory, so if I tell the truth, then I'll be at least consistent.
I always strive that if I'm ever being like, if people are asking for constructive criticism, I will give it. But no, I'm not an asshole, and I can actually like word things nicely. Like, there's been times where I've just done a full on like couple of paragraphs of just niceness, and it's amazing how many people ask for constructive criticism, and you just get people saying, "Oh, it looks like shit." Like, that's not constructive criticism. That's just being an asshole.
Right.
Like, the way I do it, I always try and find things that I do like, and I'll compliment them, and I will give what I believe would be not criticism. I give advice on how I think you could improve the look. So
It's
not
Ruby. Ruby's here.
Hello. Hi, Ruby.
She's such a big kitty now.
Yes.
Hi, Ruby Boo.
Yes, for me, it's always I turn it into a, like, I try and find a way where I'd be like, I think if you do this, it could like elevate the look next time you do it, and like I always try and find ways to make it I think if you do this, or if you try and incorporate this, you could turn your already amazing look even elevated even more, and that kind of thing.
Right.
And I do not care to focus or make it a negative thing. I'd much rather find a way to, also while still being genuine about it, like I'm not just going to lie, but I will make it, an actually pleasant experience, like what constructive criticism should actually be. Because, like, I don't believe constructive criticism should ever be something that can be taken as a negative thing. You should always be able to find a way to word it in a way that makes it just sound nice. Like saying, if someone asked for my constructive criticism on the blending of a look, I'd be talking about what I do like, and then I'll put it in a way of what I think they could try as a different technique to elevate the look further than what they've already done. And I never make it about, I think you could do this to do better. I always make it I think you could try doing this to turn your look that is already amazing even further.
Right.
And like, I always try to find that way to put it across, rather than I think you should just do this. Like, I always be like, I love the way that you blended this part, and I think if you did this with this certain part, it would really complement the whole look and make it that much better. Sadly, not many people take the time to do that, because, like, genuinely, it can take more time doing it that way. But I'd rather spend more time in actually giving helpful criticism and being genuine with it than just saying, I don't like it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's really hard because, like, this is kind of off topic, but my eye areas are completely different on each side. Like, this one is such a much bigger eye area, and this one is like significantly smaller. And until you see me doing a look and like one's janky and the other one's not, it takes a lot of work to try to get them even in any way. Nobody's really ever called me out very much for it, so I'm grateful for that. Grateful. Do. Stuff's falling down from the desks. But yeah, constructive criticism is always the way to do it. And like it says, I mean, you have to be a little more creative in how you say things to do it in a non-harmful way. Because, I mean, what's the point of like hurting people unless some people just get off on being rude. But nobody's ever said that my eye look sucked on any of my videos so far, knock on some wood.
Like, I don't think people want to be negative, because I know that there's always room for improvement, and most of the time it's just like, I can see where they're purposely trying to get a rise out of me. So
Right.
like, it doesn't bother me because ultimately I'm doing this for myself. I'm not doing this to make other people like the look I'm doing or be happy. Or be happy
Right.
with my techniques. So like I'm doing this to make myself feel better. Like, yeah. But if someone is able to like send me a message and be like, hey, I think next time if you try and redoing this look, add this or do this. And I'm
Right.
like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Like, but if you're just like sending a message saying, oh, I think you look shit, or you should have done this, or you should have, or like when people say, can you give me some constructive criticism? And they say, oh, you used the fucking wrong lash, you dumbass. You used a giant lash when you should have used a small one. It's not constructive criticism. That's your opinion. Constructive criticism is saying something like instead of using such a big fluffy brush for when you're trying to blend in the crease, use a slightly smaller one. That's constructive criticism.
Right. Absolutely. And
So,
Jamie says she hasn't had any nasty comments either.
yeah, I don't know why, because I am the perfect demographic for getting negative comments. Because, you know, being a person that's in the LGBT community doing makeup.
What? You're an LGBT?
I know. I'm a LGBT.
Oh, Zach just sent me a message. He's at the emergency room.
Yay. That's good. What we like to hear. Not that he's at the emergency room, but that he's actually at the emergency room, if that makes sense. See, exactly, Amy. Like, if it's something like saying, if I think you use this smaller brush instead of such a large brush to help blend better, that's constructive criticism. Saying like, oh, you know, I think if you try to go in with a slightly deeper shade as well to get that extra depth that you're looking for, that's constructive criticism. Saying, oh, you shouldn't have used those lashes, I think they're too large. Oh, you shouldn't have done them. That's not constructive criticism. That's just opinion thoughts. And like, I'm not asking for your opinion. I'm asking for constructive criticism. And while you can kind of argue they're the same thing, but they're not in this context.
Yeah. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I always try and improve. And I mean, hey, I even looking at my own content, like every time I do a look, I'm improving somehow. Like I'm always learning a better way to do things. I never thought I'd be able to do winged liner without using like a piece of tape to get that the edge defined, but now I can. I'm like, what the fuck? I can do winged liner?
Right. I miss being able to do that with my little saggy eyes. I used to love doing wings.
You need to just extend the wing further out there so that is like green dramatic.
Just a giant check mark.
Actually thinking about it though, I was just joking, but you could actually do that. But instead of like, I'll have to show closer to my eye to explain it better. But instead of like, say, doing the liner right there,
Right.
move it down to like here.
Right.
And then like kind of sweep a bit further and blend in with the lower lash line. So at least you're kind of working your way outside of the it might make your eyes look even further or wider, but it could be a way to try and get around having that crease. Because like I don't have as much issue with the crease on the outer. It's the crease that I have in the center of my lid. When they're open, it makes like this weird flat edge, and it messes the way that liner angles
Well,
work.
I can do a wing on my left eye, but my right eye, I have trouble because it's just a little saggy, and so it's hard to get anything but a little blurry line. Like I have trouble getting precision. So, oh, Zach's nervous.
I'm sure he
Poor
is.
baby.
It's a shame, but it's necessary. And I'm sorry, Zach. I know it can be very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I'm just sending him encouragement. I'm telling him that we love him.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody like Zach. He is definitely an individual. But thanks for that feedback. I will try and maybe if I use like actual like a piece of like like a credit card or something, maybe that would help. You know, some kind of hard line.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
I'm right-handed, Jamie.
Elf. I don't know if you've heard of them or seen them before, but Elf makes these. These are like as in Elf Cosmetics, the cheap brand.
Right.
They make a these are the line and define eye tapes. So they're little pieces of felt type stuff
Right.
with a sticky adhesive, and you literally just like you blop it on the eye, and you can then like blend and do your liner, and then you
Right.
can actually just peel it off. And because it's like felt, it bends with it. This could
Right.
be an option to look at as well. And this is only a couple of dollars, and you
Yeah.
get, I think you get 40 strips.
That's
So
pretty good. I've
yeah,
seen
so
people literally use like gift wrapping tape and all kinds of different stuff.
I mean,
It's
you
just
could just do that, but these are like I find these are easier because it actually just sticks, and
right.
because of the material they are, they flex with the skin a bit better than just straight up sticky tape. These I
Yeah,
used
I'll have to
use
look into that. Thanks for that suggestion. That's a
You're
good one.
welcome. Yes, they're called the Elf Line and Define Eye Tape.
That's cool. Because I could definitely use that to help make some angles on my looks.
Yeah,
Do some stuff a little different.
I've used these to do more like editorial looks. So I've used them to make like a diamond in the middle of my face and stuff like that because they're just so like great with precise line work.
Yeah.
And I'm left-handed, Jamie. I'm a freak. I'm a lefty.
We like freaks. Freaks
We
are cool.
make it chunky.
Oh my god. Do
Yeah,
you
so
love Hedwig? Do you love Hedwig? And
like
Hedwig and the Angry Inch?
what? Sorry,
Hedwig and the Angry Inch?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's the most amazing musical ever. It's a film that you can see, and it's also been Broadway productions, and it's James Michael Cameron. It's about a transsexual who gets a sex change, but it gets botched, and he falls in love with this musician, and the musician steals his music, and it's just super awesome. You totally need to try to check it out. It's like got the best music and compelling story, and I mean the songs are just amazing on their own. But I think you would totally dig it.
Sounds interesting. I'm just looking at stuff on Wikipedia for it. Yeah, I just thought when you said Hedwig, I'm like Harry Potter.
Right. Hedwig and
Because
the Angry
I'm
Inch.
a Harry Potter fanatic. I have Voldemort's wand as a tattoo.
Oh, is that what that? I was wondering what that was. Very
Yeah, it's
cool.
Voldemort's wand. I'm eventually getting Harry's wand on this arm.
It's called Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and it came out in the early 2000s, and it was like because it's rock and roll musical, so it's super cool and it's kind of punk rock, and it's a lot of fun, and it's poignant, and it's got a great cast.
I'll have to check it out. Oh, my leg. Should I make... What is the... Yeah, stuff it. Let's make it live. People can now see the Pat McGrath video. Woohoo!
Yay!
It is now live. Woohoo! You can watch and see the close-ups. The look that I created, or I didn't create it. Pat McGrath created it, but the actual like the shades that were recommended to use for a specific look that I did, the one that I did that I'm thinking of is called Fuchsia Shock, and it was using the shade Fuchsia Shock and this shade called Smoked Amethyst, and I mean like when you blended them together, they become this gorgeous, like, purple. I mean, like, I mixed them together there, and you can see how, like, it makes a smoky version of Fuchsia Shock.
I just sent it to you, Jamie.
I was
On
just about
your.
to send it then too, Jamie, but Rhonda beat me to it.
Because I'm super fast. Because I was already on Instagram talking to Zach. So.
Yeah, I'm using my laptop to try and navigate around Instagram. It's a bit difficult.
Yeah, it is a little clunky on a laptop.
But one thing I do like, Instagram finally gave us the ability to check DMs and DMs on the laptop, because before you weren't able to, but now you can.
Right, which is awesome because I'm terrible at copying and pasting things on the phone. I'm so basic when it comes to some technology. I used to be like so ahead of things. I used to, work for AT&T, and I was on the cutting edge of cell phone technology. Like I remember when text messaging started. That was a huge deal.
Leading edge.
Yeah, it was, and everything started changing so fast after that. And then I remember when you could get on the internet on your phone and it was so clunky. And now it's just like phone is your internet. I just got confirmation for my Spoiled Lips every other month palette subscription, so that's exciting.
Ooh, I love that. I wish I could get it.
What, Spoiled Cosmetics?
Oh, that I can, but I can't get like the box because it's just been so expensive for me to like.
Right.
I don't have stable enough of an income to be able to justify that level of something, unless it was like a prepaid, like buy a year subscription in one kit.
Yeah, this is just their every other month palette, and I've gotten some really good stuff.
No, I'm trying to think. I just saw, Rhonda, that your video using the Lolita palette was up. And I'm like, have you seen the latest KVD palette that has been announced?
No, I have not. But this Lolita palette is beautiful.
No, this one, it was received with a lot of mixed reviews because people were not happy with how lackluster it was compared to like the other stuff from the brand, in the sense of like it didn't feel as KVD as the other things did.
Right.
But I personally thought it was pretty. But it's hard to like show off the product properly. Come here, phone. Let me go. Flip. I need buttons. I need a brain as well. The brain not doing the thing so well.
If I only had a brain. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's the new palette, and
it's not that cute. Like my initial reaction is like,
meh.
What?
I know,
Yeah,
right?
It's just totally not the whole vibe of KVD at all.
Yeah,
I guess it is now, but I wouldn't get that palette at all.
No, it definitely wasn't a smash hit when it comes to the social medias. It was very much a
I mean, that's just like such a boring. The aesthetic just seems wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. It was, and then even their newer stuff that they've been coming out with, like their dazzle sticks. Just a lot of the new things that they're coming out with now are just, I just don't see it. And I can understand, but what I also wonder is like, surely KVD, like the brand, had a lot of things already designed and getting ready to do.
Right.
So why it doesn't feel like these are things even Kat would have designed when she was around.
Right. All right, Jamie. It's good to see you. Yeah, that'd be cool.
More than welcome to when you are feeling up for it next time I'm live and you actually catch us and you are wanting and feeling up for coming up on the panel. I'm always happy to have people up on the panel. It's just a fun time. Like I was saying earlier in the live when I was answering some questions, this almost feels like a Skype call, which just happens to have people that are watching alongside of it in the comments section. So I'm always happy to have people come up and actually get to speak face to face type thing, and instead of just it being text on the screen.
Have a great day, Miss Jamie. I love you, girl.
Have a great day. Oh, I'm eagerly looking forward to your sugar skull look. I'm looking forward to that and seeing it. I'm sure it will be beautiful. Always remember we're our own worst enemies, Jamie, so I'm sure it's nowhere near as bad as what you're thinking it is. So
And we're our own worst critics anyway.
Always are. And it's a struggle. It's a struggle. Yes, I'll probably be heading in a minute too myself.
I'm getting kind of sleepy, which is amazing.
Oh, I've put you to sleep. How good is that?
I know. It's lovely. Well, my husband will be getting up in a few minutes, so I won't be able to sleep for long.
Oh, well. We shall. Oh, wait, what? Okay, whatever. Never mind. My brain's.
Hey, Kelly.
Oh, no, Kelly. We're just about to go.
I know.
I'm sorry, Kelly. I'm just about to go because it's 10:20 p.m. I've been live for like 3 hours now.
Yeah.
We've answered some questions. We've had some great conversation in here. Like, genuinely, we've had some really good conversations throughout the thing. So if you feel like it, please feel free to go back to the beginning and watch. We did 2 little tag questionnaires. This one here tagged me in one, the palette lover tag, which I answered, and then the second half I was tagged by Debutawn, Debbie, and that was the YouTuber tag. So we were just answering questions about being a YouTuber or making content. So
very cool.
Thank you, Kelly.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I also did make a shorter video playing with this, Kelly. So this is the new palette from Pat McGrath. I keep on swatching it, but like, just look at that. Just look at Dragonfly. Just look at
Dragonfly is like my favorite of all of them. I love them all, but Dragonfly, because it's just like so up my alley.
It's also like so unique as well.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't green, I think I would still love it.
I mean, my personal favorite shade in this that I've used so far, the actual like look at that.
It's the Pat McGrath Mothership Mega palette.
Yeah, Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity.
And they have it at Sephora. So, and the Sephora sale is coming at the end of this month. And so, if you are a VIB or a Rouge, I'm Rouge, but a lot of people aren't Rouge. But you can save 15% on it if you wait till the end of the month to get it.
If you don't wait, you have a 10% off code. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you go to her website, Kelly, it's literally like the thing that's being posted at the moment because, like, and just look for it with this big logo on the front. This is the only palette she makes with this logo on it.
And
so look at that.
And it's $78 and 16 shades, right?
18.
18. I can't do math.
So look at them.
And Sephora VIB sale starts October 30th.
Yeah, there's so many interesting shades in this. Like the actual, this was my my answer, Rhonda, for my palette with the most interesting color story.
Right.
Like, name a palette that has such wild colors like that.
Right. I said Jawbreaker, but I don't know. That's just what I said.
Yeah, well, that makes sense as well. Jawbreaker, funnily enough, was my half neutral, half colourful palette because that does have a lot of neutrals and colours in it. But like, even the mattes in this, there's only 3 mattes, but the 3 mattes were stunning. Like, for a matte,
Right.
Ooh, I love the blues. I like the blues. Blues are so much fun.
Oh, Kelly, that's awesome.
We love it. We want you to experiment. Like, all I want to do ultimately with making content is inspire people to try and do things more outside of the box, because I usually do makeup that is a bit more outside of the box. So I'm like, if you're inspired to try a different color or style than normal, I'm all for it.
All right, I am gonna go because I feel like I'm gonna doze off in just a second. I don't want to pull Zach.
Yeah, oh no, you have to drink vinegar yourself.
I know, and that would be no. Well, actually, I'll just drink some pickle juice, and that would be fine.
That'd be fine. Oh,
All right.
thank you for coming up, Rhonda, and
Oh,
thank you
thanks for
tagging
having
in
me,
the tag.
James. Love you so much.
Love you too, and love everyone in the chat, which is only Kelly
Good
at the moment, but we love you
Good
all.
night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, sweetheart.
Oh my God, I'm trying to press buttons.